Oh, whoops. Should put on the starting soon. No. My window go. Says we're live.
We are going.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Oh, you need to switch the screen.
I need to switch the screen?
You're on starting soon.
I just hit the live scene, so it should be good now.
Okay.
It's a matter of when it comes up, you know how it is. The delay.
You know how it is. Always. There we go. Alright, that'll be fine.
Hi!
Hello, everyone. I am a geek for fun, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, who will kind of be the star of this one, Sid Parter.
Hi, everybody. I'm not on cam or anything this time. This time it's just me over here in 3D space. So, you know, you got that going for you.
And how this one's going to be going, if you've been looking at the thumbnail, is we're going to be, well, Ian is going to be going through and doing some modeling work on our upcoming Batman audio drama series, which we're really excited for you guys to listen in. All the scripts have been fantastic so far. The casting is still ongoing, so if you guys want to go to our casting video and click on that document if you haven't yet, you'll be able to audition still. We haven't chosen anyone, but we have been listening to the auditions, and there's a lot of great stuff, a lot of great talent being discovered. So thank you all for anyone who has auditioned. Every single one of them has been great. And just, yeah, we'll be able to keep you posted on that if people are waiting for responses closer to the deadline. Again, we don't want to be like, oh yeah, we're going to definitely give it to this person if like a day before it ends, the perfect person appears. If it just wouldn't be fair, right? We set the deadline for a reason.
Yeah, and so what we're going to be working on is just, since this is going to be an audio drama that is still hosted on the YouTube channel, we need to have a visual element for it, basically. And so if you watch, I'll do a little bit of self-promotion here. If you watch my audio drama, Green Lantern Ring of Victory, there's just there's a motion graphic basically going through the entire piece. There's just this thing that you can see of a symbol that's related to the character in the story, and it's just this, you know, repeated animation that's going to give it a little bit of visual interest. And so we're going to do something kind of akin to that. It's going to be just a visual thing that is going on while you're watching the episodes. There'll be this visual representation on screen, and so probably with like a brief opening animation. Nothing with like character work, so don't get too excited about it. But a brief opening animation of the bat signal lighting up the night sky over Gotham, and so that's going to be the inspiration for this. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating my reference images for the bat signal, and so what I've got here is a chess piece. That's annoying. Why is it always like this? Wait, is it maybe, do I have to turn on double-sided or something like that? Oh, I never know where this is. Visibility on. Oh, so this is the fun part about Maya, is it's just got a million little settings, and if any one of them is off, it's just a pain to figure it out. So I'm going to be doing a lot of just wrestling with the program here.
So as that's going, guys, as well, why I'm my little British faces here, as usual with these streams, we will be answering any questions you have in the chat, be it related to this project, Dragon Ball DC, or normally just any preferences to franchises or series we like, or just us in general. So feel free, if you've got things pressing, just post anything, and I'm going to take Ian's normal role of being the reader, and Ian's going to take my role of being the creator, so that's going to be good. So yeah, just yeah, exactly. None in the chat so far, but a lot of good responses for what we've got going on. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Where's my thing at? Like, there's an option somewhere in Maya to turn on double-sided, and I think that's what's missing right now. But I might just be lazy about it and do this.
The lazy way is always the geeks for fun way.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a thing somewhere that I'm missing. Like, you see all these options in the windows here, and so that's basically what I'm just trying to deal with. Is there's one little checkbox that says double-sided, and I don't remember where it is off the top of my head. So I've just got to figure that out. Oh well, we'll just deal with it. All right. So then this. So I took some pictures here of this Batman chess piece, and I'm gonna be just basically using it as a reference to model the signal. The only thing I'm really gonna change about it is the bat symbol itself is going to be changed. Not what I wanted. 90. Oh, not 990. And then 180. No, 90. There we go.
Alright, the Anime Noob asks, will this primarily be using the cast of the Batman comics of the time and be written similar to modern comics or audio dramas, or will you do it as a bit campy and over the top? Good question. We were going for more the tone and vibe of the early Bill Finger Batman, the real kind of like he's fighting vampires and mobsters, and he's got the devil horn cowl, and everything's in like really black, and everything kind of that kind of pulpy. He's basically just ripping off the Shadow at this point still version of Batman. But we're going to be taking that conceit and applying our own takes from all over Batman's history. So we're going to be writing it very similar to how you'd read a modern audio drama or listen to a modern audio drama. We're not going for retro in terms of the tone and the if anything, we're not going campy, we're going horror. That's been kind of went to our wonderful writing staff, which I'll get to in a minute. And that's kind of been my direction is I want a fusion of crime noir and supernatural horror mixed into one to give you a Batman that you haven't really seen or heard before. So yeah, we're going to be going with all over for Batman. We're not going to be doing any crossovers with other franchises like the rest of the channel. It's going to be a straight Batman take, at least initially. But then past that, we're going to also be bringing in new versions of the characters, different takes on people you may be familiar with before. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be like how you've seen them in other animations or comics. A lot of this is going to be me giving the chance to myself and new creatives to do stuff with these characters that they'd never be able to do if they were working for DC. To use the possibility of fan fiction, basically, to go wild and get new voices, get new blood into these timeless characters.
Yep, exactly that. And it's just a really exciting opportunity. I mean, everyone loves Batman, so it's just a fun chance to get to write some Batman, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's a lot of people really liked the Batman scenes we've written in DBDC, RIP. So we thought it was only fair to the Dark Knight after we got rid of him to give him some shine in his own little special thing, because you guys really responded to all the Batman moments, and that means you like how we write Batman. It's not going to be exact to that, because this is going to be a younger Batman and in a different kind of vibe, whereas that's a very much superhero Justice League Batman. So that's going to be different.
Yep.
Do you have a ballpark idea of when you want to release this? I'm not going to say anything definitive, because how I'm going to be going on with the series is we're going to be releasing this as a 13-episode season. That is then going to be, once we've got all the episodes done, we're going to make them all in advance. So it might take a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 months. Keep that in mind, but don't break your heart if it isn't. Once we've got that, we're going to then release each episode a week after the other, as if it wasn't actually a TV show that you watched week to week. I'm really excited about being able to do that. I really want to be able to make people think, if they just randomly see it on YouTube, oh my god, they've made a new Batman show. I want people to think it's official with the power we're gonna do here. So yeah, good question.
Cool. Alrighty. And so this is our reference. It's all weird and clunky looking now, but now comes the fun part. So, with 3D, everything's just shapes. As silly as that might sound, everything is just shapes in 3D work. So, that's gonna drive me crazy. My front is my back, and my back is my front. So it's just about like getting a sense of how big or what shape I need to start everything with. And because these pictures are not perfectly dead on, this is going to be a bit of an adjusting process. So I'm just trying to basically get here the sense of scale for the shapes and the location for them and everything. But immediately I'm going to start with just a problem, which is that I have rounded corners on my reference, but I can only make, at least to start with, square corners. So I get to start off with a fun challenge.
We always go for the absolute most over here.
Right? Alright, so here's what we have so far. We have it square. Oh man. Alright, so let's see here. I think... how do I do this? It's been a minute since I've done a lot of 3D work, so this is going to be a bit of a learning curve for me.
The anime noob also asks if there might be original characters in this series. Possibly, yeah. The problem with that has normally been for like DBDC or one of our things. It's like, oh, that we need to commission art for that, right? But for this, because it's all audio, we've kind of got that freedom. So maybe, yeah, depending. But for the moment, I think a lot of the writers on the project do want to bring in familiar characters and do their own takes on them, just so, because again, this is the first season. We want people to take off with this. We don't want to distance people too much. So once we're going with that, we're gonna go with the idea of going with that version of Batman and setting up our world. And then once we've got that world, then we can throw in our own like Harley Quinn was a character created by Paul Dini and invented basically an OC. If we want to do stuff like that, there is the freedom. I'm not putting any limitations on our scriptwriters or myself, so that's all there. And while I've got the time, I think before I get too into this, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to our lovely team. That is just so far. We are open to accepting other writers, but I am a little bit really picky. So don't be offended if I just tell you to go away, because this is I try to be nice, but sometimes for these things I do want to make this as quality as I can, and I think what listeners would want the best writers possible for all this. So I have been going out for people I actually do think can do this. So the first one's going to be the guy you recognize the most. Is Smugstick. Smugstick's on the writing staff. I'm very curious to see what he comes up with. We've got myself, a geek for fun. We've got our lovely Sid Part 2.
Hey, that's me. I know that guy.
He's pretty good. I think a lot of you guys are going to like what he had. We have some of this as well, because you can find them on Twitter. I'm going to say their Twitter ats. We got Mesus, which is at Mesus Reborn. We have Alex, who's at AP Batman with 2 T's and Bat. And he, if you remember, he was on the Star Wars video with me. Then we have Let's Talk Lady Shiva, which is at Talking Lady Shiva.
I wonder who she's gonna write about. Wonder who they're gonna write about.
Yeah, we don't know. Then we have Justin Crystal at The Real Manos.
Cristelli.
Yeah, Cristelli, there we go. See, I never had to pronounce it before.
Oh,
So this is the learning cards. For our Geeky Gentleman listeners, you'll recognize his work. And if you've ever checked out Red Knight, now's a good chance to go do that. Then we have Erin at Spitfire Queen, who is the voice of many characters in DBDC and our projects. She's going to be doing something. We have Jesse at Suplex Inferno, another really great writer who's been on Comic Book Debate. And then we have Tej, which is at Taylor Stevens. Another great writer friend of mine who is actually doing writing in Canada and then came back because of everything going on with this, like pedigree. And then finally is at Star Sparrow Sarah, the wonderful Wonderwoman of our project, who's got a really good take working on the side. So they're not going to be the be-all end-all. I am open, like I said earlier, to having different writers. Them spreading up the load and getting new voices, different talent, diverse talent is really what I kind of want to use this platform for. So that is going to be in consideration, but just for these guys, it's blowing my mind, the quality that's coming out. It's been absolutely a pleasure to work with every single one of these people. I suggest you check out all of them, because if you like my stuff, they're the real talented ones. So there you go. That's the Echoes of the Night crew. And once we've got the episodes out there, we'll probably do a post-season live stream with as many of them as we can to get your thoughts on all the episodes. So that's going to be exciting for sure.
Definitely. Most definitely. All right, so I did extrude there. So now I got my corners down. I'm pleased about that. There we go. There it is. Okay. Yay. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what you're looking at for some of these, so I'm hoping I got everything right here. Yeah, there we go. I still don't want it quite like that. So what I wanted to do is just rise, there we go, right out of the center. We're halfway there. We've made progress. Progress has been made.
That's what I like to see.
Yep. So right now, just working on the base. You'll notice like a bunch of like bolts and stuff on here. That I'm gonna go through and add in later on once I've got a bit more progress on that. That's gonna be one of the last things I do actually, is add all those details like the bolts and stuff. All right. So let's see here. No, that didn't quite do what I hoped it would. All right. How about edge? Okay. What if I select multiple edges? So a lot of me with 3D work, because I'm not a professional, becomes about fighting with my keyboard because it sucks. Becomes just about tinkering with stuff, trying to figure out what needs work still. So I think I'm going to end up having to do a bunch of vertex work here. And that's just about manipulating the shape and getting it all to go where I want it to go. This part's kind of boring. It's just tedious.
Wow. While you being tedious, I can't believe I agreed to this, you host. It's tedious, and you're not supposed to say it out loud. When I'm tedious in my streams, I pretend I'm actually being really interesting.
Oh, yeah?
So that's your first fault. But 2 questions I want to answer. The anime noob again. When talking about other projects, will you be doing any more Just Imagine episodes? If I were to make a suggestion, The Reach in Star Wars. That's a cool one. Just Imagine, I did that with my friend Jake. However, schedules kind of fell apart there. And our videos, which are just discussion topics, don't do well at all compared to anything. So it's kind of really put me off of doing more of those. If you guys want those, I just say shout them around, try and get them up a little bit more, because at the moment, the work I could be doing for the projects that people do like and people are responding to is going towards that. So, you know, it's not impossible, but it's for stuff like that. It's almost these streams do that better anyway, because I can react to what you guys are saying face to face almost. So, I feel like that's a better format for us at the moment. Maybe in future. We can discuss it, but yeah, just imagine at the moment, really killer name, but that series is kind of like in a prior era of Geeks for Fun as we've moved to a new one.
Yeah. I should say though, I can do a little shameless self plug there though. We do. If you just want to hear Alfie and I talk about stuff, that's not necessarily just Imagine, but I swear we come up with concepts middle episodes sometimes. Sometimes just jokingly, but we do legit do it. I'd say just go watch Geeky Gentleman, because that's just a discussion show that doesn't do well.
So everyone go to Geeky Gentleman. We need it. We need some of the love. Just for fun. Again, you guys check out the streams. It's just basically the streams, but shorter. So we're talking about, all right, Thaddeus asked what the current state of technology is in our setting. Specifically, could characters like Metallo exist? I think it's just comic book technology. So again, in the golden age, there was still crazy stuff happening. I'm not opposed to rocket ships and aliens and all of that. It's not going to be a focus, but like any good use of the world in fiction, it will be used if it necessitates and improves the story. If we can find different ways, like if we're going for a horror supernatural vibe, so we're not going to throw in a high-tech Batman suit, for example, and we're not going to have all these different things. But like if Batman needs to come up with a gadget on the fly that's like impossible in real life, but is perfect as his "I'm Batman" moment, then we're going to do it. So yeah, that's that. I have another question up there asking about if you could give an example for what our Batman wants to sound like. I'm not going to give you a go copy what this person does, because you're just going to do an imitation and not a performance. In the description, it's like a whispery horror, kind of softer, kind of creepy take on Batman. So go for that. Just that direction, and come up with something yourself that you're comfortable in doing, rather than try and copy this voice that you won't be able to apply to your natural cadence. So yeah, that's my advice there.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice.
What is Contest of Chaos? Contest of Chaos is something very exciting. I'm not going to say about, because there'll actually be a trailer coming out like next week about that. So you'll get that answered very quickly. But it's cool. If the Flash appears, will he be Jay Garrick or Barry Allen? This is the Batman thing at the moment, so I'm not answering any of those. This is just Batman characters, Batman series. We can deal with the wider world in later seasons.
Yep. So that's a good answer. All right, so there we go. So now we've got the base and this cylindrical part, and yep, there's another stage to that, so just gotta work on that part. Sometimes Maya's really nice, and you can like do a face select by just double clicking, and it'll only take like parts of the face that you actually want, and then sometimes you double click and it selects every single face on the object, which is literally the definition of useless.
Look, performance issues are common in all aspects of life.
Yeah,
you can't blame it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna blame it. I literally do not like Maya. I should have learned another program, but I did not, and that was my mistake.
This process is surprisingly satisfying to watch. Yay, Ian, you're validated.
Between those kind of comments, and like the ASMR, like unintentional ASMR, I'm like, thank you, I think.
Sid Part 2 is the e-girl of Geeks for Fun.
Am I an
We just
e-girl?
need to get you on us. We just need to get you on. Yeah, you're an e-girl. We're all e-girls. You need to get you on a stream of just like, I don't know, man, your feet or something. It seems they'd be into it. Just like you whispering as you 3D model with your feet, like where I am.
Please,
just your
please
feet.
not. Please no. Can we go back to a time before you made that joke? And it didn't become a thing that people start demanding in the comments?
What if I didn't make that joke? Hi folks, Geek for Fun here with another What If episode. Today we're going to be driving Ian insane during the course of the stream is my real plan.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually. Do you know what the background song is? Someone else.
I didn't even realize there was a background song playing. And it seems like it's entirely too loud from what I'm seeing. I'm gonna turn that down. I don't know if it's something I set up or what. Let's check that out. It's just called Media Source. I wonder what it is.
Well, if it's just like hard rap, good. If it's like chill beats to study to, great. If it's like something copyright that's gonna get this stream taken down, damn it.
I remember I set up the 1 Ton Mass Rocket, which is the jazz album I had commissioned for Geeky Gentlemen. I set up that. I meant for it to just be like the hold music or the starting soon music. Feel kind of funny if it's been going the whole time.
That's so good.
Hopefully the volume being a little lower now at -44 as opposed to whatever it was before. It'll make it a bit better.
That's good.
I mean, if no one was saying anything, I can't imagine it was that distracting, right? Right? Yeah, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm. Will we be seeing Barbara Gordon, or is she more of a season 2 character? I'm not gonna be asking any questions like that because spoilers.
Us and spoilers. Like, what are the point of these streams if we're not going to spoil anything for them? How dare they have to watch the series?
All right, guys, Final Saga of DVTC. This is gonna what? I could as well. I could, and you guys can't get me to do it. How's that feel? The power we hold.
Alrighty, so there's the base. Looking pretty good so far. I'm digging it. Whoosh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Now it's no longer pleasant. Now it's like sickening. Okay. So there's the base out of the way. So I'm gonna group those two together. There we go. And call that base.
Yeah. Can we go back to a time when you didn't make that joke?
No, dude, I'm gonna be a dad soon. I gotta make jokes like that.
Oh, man.
Alright, and I'm gonna delete all my hard work. Nah, I'm kidding. I just hit it so I don't have to look at it while I'm working on the next part. So next, I'm gonna be making this whole apparatus here. Not the signal itself, just this like VU-shaped thingy that holds the signal up. So that'll be fun. Alright.
Nice. Sorry for asking a question not related to the Batman audio drama. Don't be sorry. Like I said at the start of the stream, you can ask whatever you want. This is going to be a little while, so...
Yeah, the first time I modeled this, it took about 3.5 hours. I think I'm making better progress than that. But we'll see.
Yeah, we're just... Congratulations on child!
Thank you. Whoever said that one.
Tricky Star. That's a good egg right there. But yeah, I was wondering what the meeting between Cassandra and Kakarot was like. They haven't met yet. That intro I posted, which a lot of people really liked, which so thank you. I just did that in my spare time for fun. Was just a lot of that stuff in there is just teasers of the future. So yeah, that's just me throwing in like, wow, what's all this? This is gonna be maybe what? So yeah, they haven't met prior.
Yep. And also, she's not his daughter.
Yeah, she is not his daughter. Lady Shiva and Kakarot only just got it on in the Saiyan saga. Like, if you remember, watch that episode, he talks to Hal Jordan about it. And even then, not that much time has passed for Cassandra Cain to have been Batgirl and be that old. And her name's Cassandra Cain still. So like, she's not his daughter. She's exactly the same character she was in that, and they haven't met Kakarot yet.
But we lie, Alfie. So what if we're lying?
What if I'm lying? Then that's the next video. Hi guys, we've been looking at your comments and decided to make this video. What if we lied? What if we lied should be the name of like all our episodes, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys are too smart sometimes. You should literally give it a pat on your backs. So many guys and gals and everyone in between have put on pat on the back. Been very, very smart with some of your predictions. Like the Superboy thing. People were calling that since episode 1. And I had to just like shut it down because I was so excited that we got Masako to do that. I didn't want to spoil it for anyone. So, and then the response when the finale came out, like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" Even though like some people had, if you just read the comments, so that's always fun. But yeah, sometimes you're just too smart for your own good.
Yeah, so I gotta lie to you. But we do it for your own good.
We do it, daddy for fun, and dad part 2. I'm here to look after you.
Oh god. Oh, did I need that in my life? Oh man. Did I do this right or did I do this wrong? That's the question. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is create this kind of like grading thing, and it's just a lot of thinking about how to do it, at least for me. I remember taking 3D modeling courses in college, and I'd have to ask the professor to just slow down because the dude could move at just a mile a minute with these. And he'd be like, yeah, extrude here, set up this, grab your vertices, and done. And then it's just like a complete, like, you just like remade Michelangelo's David, but in 3D. And I'm just like, what? You started with a box! How? Oh, that shit got crazy.
That's so funny. Have there been any major... You can help answer this one, actually. Have there been major differences between preparing for this Batman audio drama and the time you spent preparing for the DBZ DC series?
Oh, I think so. We're trying to be a lot more organized about it this time around, I'd say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because when I did episode 1, I just didn't prepare. I just did it on a whim because I was just like, wow, this looks... Why don't I just do this? No, everyone's doing all the different things and I'm not doing what I want to do. And I could just stay on the internet and complain about other people not doing stuff. Or I could just be productive with that energy and tell stories myself. And one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. So there you go. I didn't prepare for that. And if you look at those early episodes, you can kind of tell. And as we go on, it has been a steady improvement as I've learned, as I've gotten more experienced managing people. I think has been a skill I've had to learn. Making sure everyone's getting told what's what and managing emails and such and such and such. That's gotten better, and just making the scripts and everything in advance so we're not having to delay stuff. Like that's normally why the episodes are far apart. It's just me trying to figure out this, because again, relatively new at all of this, and I've had to learn very fast. So it's been fun though. I wouldn't change it for anything. So yeah, definitely, this has been a lot more experienced in our preparation than with DBDC.
Okay.
How early is this version of Batman? Year one early, or has he been active for a few years? I didn't mind saying this because this is kind of like what would be on like the box premise, right? It's just out of year one, barely. Like we're right like on like the precipice of into year two right now. So it's not his origin, but he's only been Batman for a couple months to a year. And when I say year one, doesn't necessarily mean year one happened exactly, or if it happened at all. Really, the main thing, all you want to know that is true in this series is Bruce Wayne's parents were shot when he was 8 years old. He trained and traveled the world. He came back to Gotham when he was 20, and now he's 21.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pretty much that. All right. Things are looking good. I got beginnings of this piece down. I had to make a new material so I could get just this to be x-rayed, but not the other parts to be x-rayed. All right. So let's see my base again. Shift H. Oh, good. That actually lined up reasonably well. Nice. Okay, so it's a little... This is the problem with using reference images, is you gotta kind of like just pick and choose when to actually follow the reference, because I don't like this. You see how the angle is overstepping the circle. Whoa, that was weird. You see how the angle's overstepping the circle. I don't like that, and that's just, it's going to happen that way from time to time because I'm just working in 3D space, and these pictures were just, I took them on my phone and just kind of made do. So I just gotta shrink this down and just make sure it's working on all sides. Yeah, see, like it's really offset from everything else. That's why that's happening that way. And that actually will allow me to make it just a bit bigger. Not much. So I just kind of gotta pick and choose when I'm actually gonna follow my references and when I'm just gonna say, nah, it's fine.
I mean, that's pretty true with just, it's not the same principle, but I find that a lot when I'm doing art. Is sometimes you can't stay on model. Mm-hmm. You have to be a bit free. Question for DBDC: how did Gohan unlock SAJ, and will there be an SAJ moment similar to the Southside? Wow, geez. I'm just gonna say, yeah, sure, no, maybe. I don't know, man. What do you expect me to tell you?
Script's not written yet. Can't tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what's going to happen until we're writing the script.
You just need to. That's let us tell the story. But I will say, this isn't gonna be the Cell Saga. Mm-hmm. Entity Saga isn't the Namek Saga. I see so many people say that, and it's not. It's got similarities because we're homaging it, but plot to plot, it's completely different, and the climax is completely different. How Rogozar goes out is like the deliberately the opposite of Frieza's death. He takes a selfless act. Frieza did that. It's got the beats are there because I wanted to get Goku and Vegeta and everyone into certain parts of their character development, but the whole thing isn't a direct copy at all. And even more so, the next one, it will have homages, but it's completely original saga from here on out for the rest of the BDC. It's just us doing our own stories.
Mm-hmm. Exactly that. It's, I don't know, like, I get why people feel that way, because that's something we've, for good reason, we've only talked about on stream, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, well, the other series, at least in part, follow along with, or at least in part mirror the original series. But, like, that's just kind of a consequence of how we were doing things and wanting to get the characters to certain places. the reasoning for why we're going in different directions moving forward is because we're happy with where the characters are now, and we want them to be in we want to go forward with original things, because of course that's the benefit of doing stuff in the DC universe, right? This way we don't have to stay rigid to just the story of Dragon Ball. Which, I mean, I love Dragon Ball, but like on occasion sometimes there's elements of that story that are like kind of frustrating in a way, you know?
And I think as well, just we're not gonna do Dragon Ball better than Toriyama. We're not gonna do DC better than the writers we like. We're gonna do our version. And the can see, if you want to get into my headspace, and I think for any young writers, when I say young writers, I don't mean age, I mean in terms of experience. When I went with that, I had a very specific idea in mind for where I wanted all of this to go. But to get there, I needed to have Goku and Vegeta and all the other surrounding characters start in a place and then get developed. So the Saiyan Saga was me thinking, okay, what if you did DC versus Dragon Ball as an arc? And the Saiyan Saga fit that the most because you get the Saiyans versus the DC characters. So doing that, because the Saiyans are the villains, they're not going to change how they attack. And even then, Raditz and Nappa, their fights are completely different. And the Vegeta fight is there because you do need that confrontation between Vegeta and Goku to set up the arcs where I wanted to keep their rivalry. Even if then we still changed Vegeta's whole reason for not liking Goku was different. So those elements are in place. And for Entity, we wanted to keep the idea of going on a space saga, but wanted to merge that with the story of Kyle Rayner, who we've kind of drawn upon as he's the anime protagonist of DC, and do an anime arc in DC. So kind of like Namek, but if anything, it's almost closer to something like One Piece in terms of, like, if you think of the different planets as different islands, we're not going to just Namek and staying on Namek. We go across the universe and go on all these different things, and then we have a final confrontation. But even then, the final confrontation the day isn't won by beating the bad guy. The day is won by Kakarot and Batman making the sacrifice play. That and like sending them off. Whereas in Dragon Ball, Goku doesn't make the sacrifice play. He makes the selfish play almost, right? Like it would have been better if Goku just left, but he stayed there to prove to Frieza how useless he was now. It was a very spiteful thing. So whereas our Goku he had no choice to stay at that point, and he was just acting out of vengeance for his friend. So all of that is very emotionally charged, very emotionally. So going forward with that, we've got Kakarot Ken as where we want him. We've got Prince of Apocalypse Vegeta where we want him. We've got all these different characters in the DC universe where we want them. Batman's gone. We really are excited to show you what happens next. But yeah, it's going to be a lot more emotionally charged and a lot more character focused. I mean, all our stuff is character focused, but like even more so.
Yeah, exactly that. And you know, that all being said, there's still going to be a lot of like crazy fun shit. Like
always.
First episode of the Super Saiyan Saga, I'm so excited for people to see, because it's got stuff that like I've always wanted to see in comics. And then there's like the fact that we're kind of feeding off of each other's different fandoms and stuff in a way, because there's stuff in here that like Alfie's always wanted to do, and so I'm getting to see some of that, and I'm getting to add stuff to his stuff, and he's getting to add stuff to my dream stuff, and so it's just kind of building, and it's just really, really fun how it all works out.
The series wouldn't be the same without either. When we write, we are very much one writer with a lot of these stuff. I can't do any of this to nearly the same amount of quality without Ian's input and his like the entire Entity Saga, which is probably is my favorite saga we've done. That doesn't happen. That doesn't nearly get as good as it is without Ian being like, hell, what about Green Lantern Dub? that one line completely changed my ideas for that whole thing. And it made it just like one of the you guys liked it, right? It was pretty good. So I'm proud of it at least. So yeah, that's definitely that.
Gone a little off model, but I kind of dig it. Because technically these bits right up here at the top should be square, but I kind of like this jutting look that they've got right now. It's kind of working for me. Let me get rid of my ref. I don't know, that's kind of working for me. What are you thinking? Hey, what do you think of this?
I'm thinking that's good.
Yeah. All right, there we go. That's the bat signal base then. Like I could add some stuff. There's like some detail stuff. I might add like the handles on these faces, but I think some of this detail work is just silliness, and I don't really like it. So I'm gonna just kind of do my own thing here.
Streamlined is the way.
Yeah, streamlined. And keep in mind, you're barely gonna see this shit, which is the funny part, right? Like you're gonna see the detail work that I'm gonna put in this as we go further is gonna be on screen for like half a frame or some shit. It's gonna be kind of funny to see how that all works out.
Mm-hmm. Will there be a continuity that goes between episodes to episodes, or is it an anthology where each episode is its own thing? The latter. This is gonna be a thing where you can just watch an episode, and it can be like, oh, that's my favorite Batman story. every episode is gonna be kind of like Batman the Animated Series, where every episode is standalone. But for Eagle listeners, they'll be able to see themes. They'll be able to see things that are mentioned that will be paid off. So when you'll be able to watch it and get the most out of it as self-contained single stories. But if you watch it all at once, you're going to get an even greater experience. Mm-hmm. So that's like my ideal type of writing. Even DBDC, I like to write each episode as its own issue almost, where you can watch an episode of DBDC and you get something out of it. You can watch an episode of any of our series and get something out of it. Even Ian, with like how you did the Aliens of Dragon Ball episode, you can watch either one of those on their own without watching the first one and still get it, and you get a different experience. But if you watch them back to back, like that's how we do things on Geeks for Fun here, and I think it's the way forward, and we're gonna keep following that model for all our sagas. So every episode can stand alone, but you watch it all at once. It's just like, whew. Yeah.
All right, there we go. We've got some handles going on here. The bolts will be introduced later when I go through and do the detail work. And yeah, so the arms of the base are finished, so I can get rid of the base. At this point, it'd be a really good time to save the project.
Yes, so we don't cry on stream.
Maya has a notorious ability to just stop whenever it feels like, mainly just to mess with your emotions.
Maya's just a bitch.
I know, you have no idea, dude. It gets ridiculous. So now that I've got all the base here, I really like the detail work on those handles. I like how that came out, actually, with the way that it's sunken in. Let's just do a quick render for funsies. Oh man, look at the render time on that, less than a second. So yeah, there we go. We're getting the start of it. I don't know. I wasn't sure how far we'd get tonight. How long have we been streaming so far?
I have about 50 minutes. Yeah.
All right, so less than an hour in, and we're over halfway done with the modeling. So that's good. All right. So let's reintroduce my reference again. And now comes the fun part, where we're going to make the bat signal. All right. I think I'm going to want to go from the side view here. Now, do I want to do a pipe, or do I want to do a cylinder? Pipes have thickness and more planes to play with, so I think I'm going to go with a pipe. once I find it. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's beef this guy up real quick. Height, there we go. Subdivisions along the height. Let's see here. 1, 2, hold on. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want 6 subdivisions along the height. 6. Alright. And then the top. Subdivisions around the cap. The more of those I have, is that a good thing or not? Let's just do 3. I think that's fine. Okay. And then the radius is the harder part. The radius has got to be something ridiculously small. So like, let's do like 0.05. Whoa, that didn't work. 1. What do I want the radius to be? Oh, the radius is like how big it is. Is the thickness what I want? Let's turn this like 0.1. There we go. Thickness is what I want to be small. It's not a very thick boy. There we go. That's pretty good, I think. All right. Front, back. Okay. All right.
Will we see Kakaroto Kent's first fight with Wonder Woman as a side story? For side stories, those are actually feature on our Patreon. So if you actually really want us to do that, go to our Patreon, go to the writers tier, and we will work with you to bring that to life. We've got another one. Like if you saw the DBDC Christmas special, we've got another one coming out very soon. We love doing those. We think it's a great chance for us to work with the audience some more. And if you do want to dip your toes into writing, we can help you with that. We can help refine some ideas you have, and even if you just got a pitch, we can work with you with that to bring it to life into something special. So yeah, that could be cool. For now, no plans, but like I say, if you really want that to happen, head over to Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much that. All right, I think that works. Okay, so I think I need to. Oh, whoops. I think I need to apply my Why do I have so many materials? That's right, because each of the photos is a material. Duh. So you're like, wait, why do I have like 6 of those? That's ridiculous. All right. Oh, that's just unfortunate. All right, how about? There we go. I'm gonna have to go just based on the Ooh, that's gonna make that difficult. All right. I gotta go just based on the wireframe now. I don't have a ton of room to work with because of the black of Batman and the black of Batman and the natural gray of the material. I don't have a ton I can do. That's gonna make this difficult.
Eesh.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there though. Okay, that should work better. Because then I just pick whatever the corresponding face is. Any other questions though? It's been a pretty quiet question stream.
Do you have any writing advice for an upstart like me, or will I have to go to your Patreon for that too? I mean, if you just want to talk about us with writing, you can just go to our Discord. We normally do talk with people there. You can share your stuff with us, and it's been a quite healthy community for that. In terms of general writing advice, I think the most important thing is always, this kind of ties into another question I saw posted up where it talks about like how do you come up with ideas. But the most important thing is to think about what you want to say. Mm-hmm. I think that normally is the difference between a plot and a story. And I think a lot of people don't really get that. Is you can write events, you can write scenarios, but if you're not saying anything with it, there's no guts to it. There's no meat there. Nothing for me to like chew into. So if you really do want to improve as a writer, I definitely think the best thing is to try and live as much as you can, and try and put as much of that into your stories as possible, even in ways you don't think they will be. Even just movies you've learned, and lines you like, and books you've read, and comics you've read, and shows you've watched, and people you've met. All of that gets kind of funneled into your unique voice as a writer. And if you can get in as much of your opinions, as much as your biases, as much as your views on society and the world, and as much as your views on emotions, love, pain, hate, death, all of it, it's just all in you. You've got it. You know what it feels like to feel those things. And it's just about finding what part you want to talk about that day and inserting it into characters, either ones of your own creation or ones you like, and kind of going to hand. DBDC has got a lot of stuff from both of us just thrown into it, be it just moments we've always wanted to see, or like a lot of the emotional moments, a lot of the relationship stuff, a lot of the philosophical ideas and the things about yin and yang and all the things with Vegeta and Darkseid and Kakarot and him finding balance with himself. All of that is just life. All of that is just thrown in. And I think that's the best advice. And another one is to find a lot. Sometimes people just stare at a white page all day. Even if it's bad, just write. Just write and then edit it later. It will save you so much. There's no such thing as writer's block. There is no such thing as writer's block. You just you need to take away a minute for a bit, go out, do something, come back to it. And even then, sometimes you just gotta force yourself. Imagine you're like a bricklayer and every word is a brick. You just got to do it word by word by word some days, and once you get it, you might hate it and you might feel bad, but you'll have it out there, and that's the most important thing. Is you could be the best idea man in the world, but if you never write anything, no one's gonna care.
Oh man, did I lose my? I did, because I made stuff. Oh nope, there we go. Okay, I think I need. Alright, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3. And am I doing that right? Maybe if I select faces, it'll be easier. 1, 2, 3. This is confusing me. Object mode. Alright. Because I want to have like as many bands as he does, but I thought having the divisions I needed would work, but I don't think I put in the right divisions. And I also think I'm screwing stuff up. That's okay. I can make this work. I can save it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost there. One more. 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Yay. All right.
Huzzah.
Yeah, that's Maya for you. Just figure out exactly what's going on. You think I need 7 lines, so 7 subdivisions in the thing would be enough, but I guess I need double that. So that's what just happened there. That's okay, actually.
What happened to Superman in Dragon Ball? Ask Smugstick. That's not our series.
Tell him to make more, because we like it and we want more.
We like it. We want it. Send your love to Smug. He deserves it all. He's one of our favorites.
Yeah, he's the best boy. Do I want this? I think I'll just pick one side and kind of... no. Just do it this way, it's fine. The top will be extra thick. Because the top one's just going to be different. That's fine. It doesn't have to follow the reference perfectly. Stupid faces. Okay. So there we go. There's something going down. Mesh. Extrude. And so... just those faces. Does that look good? Yeah, that looks good. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It's coming together. You can kind of see it. It starts out as a pipe, and then you're like, how's he going to make this happen? And then you start working on it. It's crazy how that happens. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Not somewhere good, but we're getting somewhere. All right. So now, I wish just one day it's going to work the way I want it to work.
Question, do you schedule your ideas? I'm not too sure. Do you mean the videos or ideas? Because the ideas are kind of like stream of consciousness a lot of the time. And a lot of them are in order. Like, I'll have ideas for things that are going to happen like a year from now, and then I'll have ideas for something that we should have done. So it's kind of like I am a three-dimensional being living with a fourth-dimensional idea vampire that keeps throwing stuff at me, and sometimes I can catch it, but sometimes I miss, and then I hurt myself because I'm so sad. Why did I do the origin episode like that? There was so much stuff. Exactly right. You can't. You just got to move on. Just got to go past it. Just do it next time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't schedule my ideas, and I don't make my videos fast enough to schedule those too much either. Because it's, again, these things take time. They're very dependent on the voice actors and the art and the editing and the script writing to make sure we're going over for a quality over quantity kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Which YouTube's not a big fan of.
No.
They really would prefer that we just put out a video every week, and sometimes the people that leave comments would seem to prefer that too. Like, the one that still cracks me up is, are you going to continue Dragon Ball DC? And we're like, it says, like, to be continued in the episodes. And, like, they're posted, less than a month ago or whatever. Like, come on.
Uh-huh. I don't
like,
know.
I'm on one level, I'm really glad that people are, like, excited and anticipating the release. On another level, I'm like, guys, we talk about it all the time. Like, the one that got me was someone asked, are you going to continue What If Saiyans Were in DC on the AMV you made?
That's just the end. That's how I end it, with an AMV. That's teases shit. That would be the move. That would be the power move.
I know,
Then
right?
we can never fail then.
Alright, so I think I got this. This is about to actually look really, really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Did I want that? I think I just want to go directly in. Nope, sure don't. Directly in like this. There it is. Oh, that looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you need a spotlight to have things like that, but it looks really cool.
It's just why Gotham goes for the aesthetic, man.
Yeah, you keep telling me, and I keep ignoring you on that, but you're right. You're so right. Alrighty. So there's the majority of the projector. I just need to create the front cap and the end cap. Alright. Let's see here. How do? Because I want it as much as possible to just be one face, so I don't have to worry about things. Do I want to create something new? Uh-oh.
This is so bad. Dragon Ball DC will return for season 4.
Aw.
Too soon.
Too soon. It hurts. Oh man. Someone left a comment today on the Xenomorphs in Dragon Ball Part 2, and they put the timestamp where Jocko hangs up on Bulma, and they just quoted it with, like, all of my hate! And I'm like, man, I'm so, like, every time I see one of those now, I just get a little teary-eyed, honestly. Like, it makes me, I'm just so sad.
We've got Massacre. We gotta find a way to get everyone else on at some point. We've got a pipeline now where we're like, guys, we want your beautiful, talented people help our fanfic. just to honor your legacy.
Yeah, right? And just like secretly turn it into DBZA season 4 and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, like suddenly Boo shows up and all the DC characters get killed.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man, I like that idea. That's a good idea. We should do that now. This is a backdoor sequel to. It's a backdoor season 4. That's a funny idea.
What would you say the biggest remaining hurdle is in the development of Echoes? There's not really anything stopping us. We're pretty good to go now. It's just the casting really, and even then that's been going really smoothly. Still need more females to help us out, so kind of round out the cast a little bit more. But even then, we've still got options. But yeah, Echo's production has been going really nicely. I guess the only thing is going to be hoping the editing and everything comes together to portray the scripts as well as they deserve, the performances, etc. So we'll see. But so far, it's looking good.
It's good to hear. Good for people to know. Angles and circular objects are a bitch, man.
That's probably is the real trouble of why people elude you. It's because they're all just angles and circular objects.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if we're gonna get really like philosophical on it, then yeah. If we're gonna just put a label on it, we're just gonna come out and say it.
How dark are you planning on Echoes of the Night being? Will it be like the Dark Knight Joker levels, or more akin to Tim Burton's Batman? Depends on the story, but there's no limits. We're not gonna censor like cursing or violence, etc. And again, going with horror, that normally does lead to some pretty spooked scenarios. So yeah, Dragon Ball Aliens got there, and this is probably going to go even further because it's not going to be a Dragon Ball thing. So
you can go more
dark.
horror with Batman than you can with Dragon Ball.
Exactly. It's pretty dark, but at the same time, we're not gonna do it for the sake of it. We're not going for gross out gore factors. We're not going for deliberately kind of the lowest common denominator like Frank Miller impression Batman. We're only gonna do it if the story justifies it, and we're not gonna trivialize Batman as if he can only tell one type of story. He's a much more versatile character than that. And the anthology format leads us to there'll be bits of humor, there'll be bits of levity, there'll be bits of camp, there'll be bits of ridiculousness, there'll be inspiring bits, everything possible under the sun. Because if you're not going to go and do everything, you don't deserve to do Batman, because that's what Batman is. He's everything.
Pretty much. It's just one of those things. He's such a unique character that or not unique, honestly. He's such a legendary character, I think is a good word for it. Because he's got so much versatility. You know, it's one of the things I really, really love about Batman, is just how versatile. You can tell so many kinds of stories with him. He's got this eternity to him in a number of ways that I absolutely adore that about Batman as a character.
Very great.
Alright, that's looking good. Oh. Oof, it's not gonna play nice with me here, is it? Move it one way, it moves, it goes into the other way. Reduce it in size just a little bit, that should fix it. Okay, cool. So I can hide the pipe, and then what I'm going to do is basically just make this very, very thin piece that's just going to be the glass of the bat signal. And then probably just a couple more detail things. I still got to make this like box that goes underneath the thing and line a bunch of stuff up. Then will be a couple more detail pieces like the nuts and bolts and stuff that you see along the signal. How didn't that work? That was weird. Okay. Why am I not selecting some faces? Just, you see, like, it's the lasso tool. If you were using the lasso tool in Paint and it didn't lasso something, you'd be like, well, that's fucked up. What's wrong? But it's just Maya, and it's like, no, it's just not feeling it today, I guess.
You know, not really feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Oh. Alright. Ugh, God, these SpongeBob memes. What are we gonna do with you? Boop. So now it's just a little thin disc of the... Yep, perfect. Perfect. Alright, so Shift H. So I got that. And the cylinder in the back. Alright, that's all looking good. Okay. Control G. And this will be the projector. Oh. You've gone quiet on me again. I get nervous.
No, boy. I don't know. I like to when you're explaining shiz. I like to let you take away with that. Are there any roles you haven't found a good fit for yet? I don't want to try out for a role that you've already essentially cast. Well, nothing's been essentially cast yet. Again, the deadline's not thing. We have found people we like, but it doesn't hurt to try. There's no limits on who you can audition for, so you can do everyone if you want to. Like, just go for it. There's nothing for you to lose.
Mm-hmm. Very good advice. My God, I did not expect that to line up as well as it did. I think I'm mostly done with my reference, because the rest of this I can just do based on the thing that I've got sitting here in front of me. But like, holy shit, that lined up so well. Look at it, man.
That's brilliant.
What were the chances?
I gotta read this. Be real with us, guys. When Kite Man in Echoes of the Night, the next comment. Well, the working title was Echoes of the Kite.
Have you, like, there's been all the like Twitter threads of like the DC Comics and Marvel Comics writers talking about like the secret crisis, the secret Marvel and DC crossover that's totally gonna happen one day, and I just lose it that like you got like Tom King being suggested the Kite Man Stilt Man team up book. Like,
yes, that's
such
it.
a good idea. Alrighty.
It'd make you fucking cry.
Oh, it so would. Alright, so there's the meat and bones of the signal. And so now I need to create basically just the little like nuts and bolts and stuff on it. And so that's just about trying to get a so like this is called a torus, but if you reduce your subdivisions on it, it suddenly becomes basically just a nut. Fun how that works, isn't it? And then let's see here. The other thing is a helix. So if I give that a little less height, a little more, no, width is good. Okay, so that's basically a bolt, right? Once I get a little bit more done with it here. Okay, right like that. Because like it's hard to see it, but like the bottom of the bat signal, it looks like kind of, how do you explain it? If you ever look at like street lamps, they have bolts that they're kind of set onto, and then like they just have these massive nuts that are put on top of it, and so that's basically what this is going to be, is just a couple of these. So that's just a nut and a bolt right there.
How many times can you say nut in stream before we get demonetized?
Just, you know, I was talking to my wife the other day, and I just nutted.
Just straight nut.
What do they call? I bet that's one of those things where there's a wacky British term for it, isn't there?
Is there?
Is there like a wacky British term for a nut and a bolt, or something that's like it's different over there in merry old England?
No, I think it is just the nuts and bolts of it.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
That's a nut and a bolt, ain't it? Yeah, there's no put the screw. Yeah, that's it. There's no extra to that. And I think we just got a $10 donation from Switch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now that is a member of the Echoes of the Night team in a capacity. So keep a eye out for that, or an ear out. I say it's more relevant. But yeah, that's that's pretty good. I'm actually just gonna add a couple, because we got Loa, we got Jesse. I'm just gonna make them moderators.
Yay, mods. You just got a job without asking for one.
Nice. We're all here for it.
Pretty much. Alright, so there's that. Oh, I'm still gonna make the box. I forgot about the box. I don't know, Alfie. Here, let me pull up my ref again. Let me get your opinion on this, sir.
Okay. My hot take.
Yeah. Orthographic back. What do you think of this? Do we want this? You think it's better without this? This whole boxy thing? I think it'll look better with just the big signal. Right?
Yeah, I think it's better without it, man. It looks more Art Deco.
Mm-hmm. Alright, cool. Alright, there's that. So, now I'm just basically...
nutting all over your hard work.
Oh, I'm so glad we have such mature people in the stream here. That's really nice.
I'm a geek for innuendos.
Oh God.
Like, I used to be really like against, like, have a better username. Geeks kind of always being used by people. Do something like Superman related, or you know, sort of Doctor Who maybe. But I've kind of really grown to the meme potential of putting geek for anything else in the in the dictionary. It's carried me through a lot of conversations, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm always here. Daddy for fun remains my top pick, though.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna refer to you.
I'm waiting for YouTube to get back on me on that. There.
Oh, that completely changes what kind of channel this is, doesn't it?
Does it? Does it? You're the man who's got fucking Wonder Woman stepping on Vegeta at the end of the episode, so... Is it really changing what our content demographic is? I think we're pretty much just what ifs and S&M.
Oh, I will not hear any of this slander.
Oh, Dom for fun and sub part 2.
Oh God, fuck everything. I'm out. I'm not here for this. I'm so not here for this world of bullshit. God damn it, world. What the fuck?
Now that is classic content.
Mm.
Only on the streams, folks. Only on the streams.
I'm so mad. God, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I refuse. I refuse to sanction your buffoonery.
Wow.
There we go. That's looking pretty good. And so it doesn't add much, but just you kind of see it from a distance, and it's just those little tiny details help, liven the whole thing up. So then the only other little detail is like some big bolts that appear to be holding the signal up right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and work on adding those, but that's going to be really easy. That's just going to basically be some spheres. So after that, we'll be on to the next really big part, which will be creating the the symbol itself. And my plan, you know how Maya is with plans, but my plan is to try to get it to be just the Echoes of the Night logo.
That could be good.
Yeah, so we'll see what I can do with that. You know how Maya is with my plans, but we're gonna try.
We are the mice and men, and the best laid plans.
Mm-hmm.
Lo says, I'm here for making Ian uncomfortable.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily make me uncomfortable. It's just like, oh god, now they're gonna be saying that all the goddamn time, and I'm not gonna be able to get away from it. I mean, if we want to just do a whole stream about S&M, I'm down. I think Alfie will chicken out first, to be honest.
I mean, that's you want to roll that dice? I've got all night, mister.
Oh god.
That's good. That's good.
There we go. That's what I want, nice and flat.
I'm actually wondering, because I am noticing less of the usual comments we get in on the streams in terms of like what if suggestions and etc. Have we covered them all? Have we covered that demographic? And I was like, yeah, they answered it on the stream, which would be funny. But yeah, I'm good. What I want to know, actually, I want to get some sweet interaction with you beautiful viewers. How are you guys spending your time given the lockdowns and everything? Are you doing all right? Is everyone finding different hobbies? I know streams like this can help. And if you guys are finding like you're bored a lot of the time, I'd be open to doing more of these for just this specific period of time, just to kind of it's good because we're always productive in it. We're not killing time, and B maybe.
Getting ahead of yourself there.
Yeah. You know, I like to, again, I live in the fourth dimension. Time is fluid for me, man. Give me a break. I like to be able to make sure you guys are doing all right. Like, I care for the community. It's very small compared to others, but like, you're wacky. And that's all I could ask. Honestly, I get I get what I deserve.
Actually, that's a bad plan, Ian. You should, because otherwise you're gonna have just a fucking nightmare on your hands. Alright, so let's see here. Not Control B. Control G.
Worst nightmare. It's just like Maya in a bat costume grabbing you by the throat.
Alright, so this needs to be attached to the base. And that's part of that one. So it needs to be parented to here. What I'm doing here is parenting and grouping things, so that way if I want to have like the signal not just do like a static turn on, but maybe I want it to do like a slight rotation or something, this way everything will move with it. Because if I didn't just parent that the way I did, if I moved this, all the nuts and bolts would stay where they were. But because I moved it, now they move with the base, which is cool. And it's just a little tree there. Now, the thing that drives me crazy about Maya is there's no expand all options, so when you got trees like this that are just gigantic, and you need to get like 5-10 steps down the tree. You gotta open every single window. Oh, it's a time and a half, to say the least. And so the spheres that I just added on, they're like giant screws, basically. I've just parented to that, and so now I should be able to do this, which is going to be kind of cool. Yeah, so now I can move this piece, and it'll move independently of the base, right? But I can also take the projector and parent it to that same cube, and now I can move the whole thing, rotate around, and like wave it as a symbol up in the sky. So I love this is the kind of animation I really like doing. Character animation, modeling, rigging, that's a freaking nightmare and a half. But simple object animation, I geek out about because it's just fun to see how it all comes together. Because now I can move this guy. Whoa, never mind. Why did that happen that way? Modify center pivot. Why the hell is it stretching and skewing the whole thing? That's so weird. I've never seen it do something like that before. I guess I thought that would have been exactly what I wanted. But no, it's doing this weird... That's so bizarre. Why is it doing... Maya! I was just talking about how cool and fun this kind of animation is. And now, look at me.
It was just like, hold your sources there.
I know. Alright, so that works correctly the way I want it to. And that works correctly the way I want it to. And that works correctly the way I want it to.
Ian, so that means you're saying that anyone who maybe made you animate a dragon once upon a time is not your favorite person.
Low. Yeah. Actually, that wasn't as hard. I've still got that somewhere, I bet. I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck the projector's doing a weird thing. It's fine, because I can just grab the pipe, which makes me think that there's no point in... I don't know. Can I just take this out of the group? Yeah. Alright, so now I've got... Nope! As soon as I take it out of the group, it does weird shit. Why? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I animated a dragon once for low, and like I had to learn how to make it like breathe fire and shit, and then it got used literally one time. So yeah, there was that. That was a good time. The chronicles of the channel that shall not be named. That doesn't quite work, so we're just gonna leave it be and pretend no one's gonna notice. I guess it's could maybe fix it this way.
Keep Sweeter says, going to work every day. Jesse says, quarantine is definitely getting to me. Tired of seeing the inside of my house, lol. But writing has definitely been helping, on this project especially. That's good to hear. Lowe's been playing Animal Crossing. Thaddeus Bone has been working on making a visual novel, which sounds really cool. Good luck on that, bud.
Yeah, totally.
And now we have Lemanos in the chat.
Lemanos, the real Manos.
Will the real Manos please stand up? Please stand up. Gonna make him a mod too, just to... There's no reason to, but I think it's just like the power. It's like when...
Unlimited power!
It's like, you know, in Sonic Heroes... like he just like stretches out his hands and like he gives Tails and like Knuckles like super energy. It feels like that when I make someone mod. It's just like, here, it's all my energy.
You're such a fucking dork.
Jacob Kaiju, I've still been working and going out. Fair enough, man. Be careful. But yeah, all the best to you for that.
I mean, some people just don't have the option, which is crazy.
Exactly.
So yeah, just hope everything goes okay. Hope nothing happens, obviously. All right, so there's all our detail work. Got all that done. Still not sure what the hell's going on with my tolerances, but as long as I can still do this, even if it's not where I should be able to do that from, I'll take it. It's just funny that it's being weird like that. But whatever, we work with what we've got. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Cool. And then, so I'm gonna hide the signal for now, and we're gonna work on the logo next, which is gonna be interesting.
Our first bit of Bat memorabilia in this Batman stream.
right.
An hour and a half in.
I mean, the signal's it's going. All right, so here's the Batman logo, and I think the best way to do. I'm debating on ways to do this. There's like the cheap, easy way, but I don't think it'll look as good in a render, and I really do want to do a render that'll show the signal like before it lights up. So I think I'm gonna go about this the harder way, and just kind of hope for the best and expect the worst, because it's Maya. So let's go through this the hard way. That will be it'll be a thing. We'll see how this goes. All right, so there's that. What is this image canvas size? 44003300. Can you do me a favor and remember those numbers?
43300.
44003300.
Okay, let's go type that in the chat. 44003300.
Okay. So, please, for the love of God, do not let me do a render until I have changed that setting back. Because this is in 4K, and that will be a freaking nightmare if I don't.
Oh, Shortbeard asks, have you saved recently?
Nope. Good on you, Shortbeard. You get the prize of not my unyielding rage.
Unyielding rage!
Oh my
Getting
God.
a lot of love in the chat for the logo, which makes me super happy. Because again, I wanted a logo like that, so when I was drawing it out, I wanted to kind of mix the best Batman logo, which is like the blue with the thing with like the classic Golden Age Batman silhouette. So yeah, I'm happy with that as well, and super grateful you guys seem to like that as well. I'm very proud of it.
Nice. All right, so here's the logo. Get it above the grid, or no, probably maybe under the grid, above the grid, under the grid, above the grid. Which one's going to be easier to work with? Probably under the grid. All right, so that can stay there. I'm gonna change my render settings back so I can just get it back to a normal thing, and that way I don't go, oh, let's do a render of this, and accidentally do a 4K render and have it take 20 minutes and not be able to cancel it. Okay. So the plan is to try to recreate just the shape of this. Obviously, I'm not going to put in the lines or the detail work or the eyes or anything like that. The plan right now is to just recreate the shape of it to be able to make it a very thin 3D object. So let's see here. How do I do that? It's been a minute. Mesh tools, curves, surfaces. God, it's been a hot second since I've done this. There's like a tool that I need that just makes a little thing and it'll create a curve around the thing.
Right.
And I'm just trying to find where that is. Extend Insert not. Create. Curve tools. There we go. And I think I want the EP curve tool. Okay. So let's get really in here and look at the crumminess of Alfie's work.
You know, very nice to flatter a guy.
It's just when you get this close to it, you notice like mistakes like that.
Oh yeah, oh for sure, dude. I'm the one who has to blow them up when I'm going in and out, and I'm just like, I post it, and I'm just like, oh no, it's garbage. Can I take it off the internet so I can fix things for 5 seconds? What? No.
No.
I've yet to make something that I've been just like, I don't think it. You know what? That sounds like very fucking egotistical of me just to assume that that's just a me thing. That's every artist ever thing, right? It's just everyone's made something. No one's made something. They're just like, yeah, that's perfect.
I don't know. I think Alan Moore is that way sometimes.
Ouch. I was watching a documentary on Warren Ellis, which was really nice. And after I finished it, in the recommended, it was an Alan Moore thing.
Yeah.
And it was Alan Moore talks about the Batman, Superman, and Doctor Who. And I swear, he's got the exact same mindset as like, I only watch Dragon Ball in the sub. If you don't like it, fuck you, you're bad. Or, yeah, it's not that really good anymore, is it? I fell out after the first arc. Because, like, first of all, on the Doctor Who thing, they're like, oh yeah, you did Doctor Who comics. Did you enjoy that? And he's like, yeah, I enjoyed Doctor Who comics, but really, the show's a bit inconsistent with its own rules. I personally felt it got bad after William Hartnell left. Oh, you mean the first one? Gee, I would have never guessed, Alan Moore, that you're fucking elitist for Doctor Who as well. And he's like, and then it's the same trend. I didn't think of it at first, but after watching that, it was the same thing. Because there was a Spider-Man documentary about Steve Ditko, and Alan Moore's interviewed in that, and he's like, the Spider-Man comics really were never as good when Steve Ditko left. Oh, you mean that the first 30 in his entire history, and there's never been any good ones since?
Well, that's when he stopped reading, though, so really.
But then he's just like, it's just so annoying. He's just such a prick for no reason. It's just like, why? Like, I get it, you got screwed over, but like, you don't. Who hurt you, man? Like, I know who hurt you, but like, Doctor Who ain't done shit to you. Spider-Man hasn't done anything to you. Like, they do the Killing Joke thing, and they're just like, yeah, personally, I don't think Killing Joke's one of my best works. I think it's my weakest thing I ever wrote. It's like, yeah, okay, that, as a writer, you're allowed to say that. That's a perfectly reasonable take. And then Alan, he's just fucking like, but then I read the Batman stories that came after it, and so I think it's a masterpiece. I'm like, you fuck! So you're allowed to shit on your own work, but you still hold it above and beyond fucking Grant Morrison, Tom King. Like, he wasn't talking about Tom King, but like fucking Neil Gaiman, fucking Denny O'Neil. Every single Batman writer that's ever come after you apparently just suck shit, and you, who hates what you wrote, are still the only one who wrote anything good. Like, what? Like, that is just inhuman.
That's called big dick energy right there.
That is big dick energy to the point where it's like inverted and now it's small dick energy again. It's like, it's just so... I'm sorry this has just turned into an Alan Moore rant, but like, it's very... I watched this documentary like today. So it's very fresh in my mind. And like, it was just so jarring because like, that was a documentary about Warren Ellis. And Warren Ellis likes to portray himself as like an asshole. He likes to be abrasive to people. But like, the funny thing about that is you got like Grant Morrison, Garth Ennis, Kelly Sue Donerick, Matt Fraction, all in that documentary. And the first thing they say is, oh yeah, he's a teddy bear. He's adorable. He's really sweet. He will give new creators a chance. I met my wife thanks to him. He's one of the best people. But then, and then he's just like, he's funny about it. And I was like, yeah, I get that. That's like a persona, but really, you're just a good guy. Like, I'm all for that. Alan Moore just is a fucking asshole.
You remember that episode of Game Grumps where they had Dan Harmon on? And it's like, hey, I don't want to interrupt you as you just fucking, like, rag on your mom. But, can I just say real quick? He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I feel like Alan Moore is the guy who just, like, in a podcast or something, just go on, like, a 20-minute rant ragging on his own mother.
Uh-huh. Alright, we've got Smugstick in the chat.
Smug! I love you, Smug. Marry me.
We love you. Marry us, Smug. Don't marry Ian. Marry me. Me. And you too can join the Geeky Gentleman dating sim. We have Dad for Fun, Dad Part 2, Sex Stick.
Sex Stick. It sounds like a fucking dildo.
That's pretty good. That Matt kink.
Oh my god. Are you just gonna... That's what February should be. We should turn February into a fucking theme month too and just do like fucking either romance or just like straight just smut.
That's so good. Smut's fun. Smut stick.
Smut stick. I like smut stick more than sex
Smut
stick.
stick. Smut stick's good. So yes, once you marry me, to sweeten the deal, I'm gonna make you a mod smut stick. Just so you can get that. Just get that going on it. Love heart, there's more or enough of sex stick to go around. Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I don't want to share.
That's
I'm
true.
that bitch.
He's a bad lover, man. He's just a bad girl.
Oh, the shit we get into. I just got a text about something. Yeah, I don't fucking know. This Corona, man. I'm getting all kinds of stuff I don't understand. I finally got toilet paper today.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right? Like, I think I've been to a total of like 12 grocery stores now looking for toilet paper. So there's that. Oh man, look how much more I've got to go.
Aha!
With your fucking... I'm doing pretty well going roughly when I can, grid by grid. But yeah, this part is going to take a hot second.
I'm surprised there isn't an 18+ section on your Discord. Ian's tried to make many cases.
Oh, bullshit.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. I lie. That's my thing.
I know, but I prefer you not lie about me being a pervert. Thank you very much.
All right. I've made many cases, and his virgin ass has said no. So yeah, I would want the boobs in the Discord, but he's like
the boobs.
He's like no boobs, and I was just like, but you know, and that's it. Yeah, so he's a big old, just, you know, dealing with these guys. He's like a really hardcore evangelist. He always believes in sex after marriage. So, you know, when I did the Goku Lady Shiva thing, he kind of beat me up with a baseball bat, and like, my arm's still kind of fucked. So I've kind of had to tone that down after. Is that what you want, Ian? I could go One direction or the other. You could have been
There's
fun,
no middle ground.
sexy pervert.
There's no
now
middle
you just,
ground.
Now you just buzzkill. Buzzkill part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Discord After Dark.
Discord After Dark. I don't know. I'm part of actually a friend of mine that has a YouTube channel. He has his own Discord server, and like I joined it the same night I joined our Discord server, basically. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what's going on with this. I don't know anything about Discord. This could be interesting. And just immediately I see he's got a channel called Orgy Pit, and I'm like, that must be like a joke or something. I click on it. Nope, it's just, here's where I post my porn. And I'm like, man, I'm not comfortable with this.
Yeah, just jokes aside, the reason why we don't want to have one is just because it's just like, that's your stuff, man. Like gals and gals, like you be your sexy bunnies in your own privacy.
Yeah,
there's
some like not safe for work stuff that I really do like. Like I'm a big fan of Steven Sejic's work, and I think he obviously does like a lot of really good erotic stuff. We both really like Fun Sexy DB. She does some really cool art and stuff, no lie. But at the same time, just like you gotta kind of make a choice as to how far you want to open it. And frankly, I know for a fact we have fairly young members of the audience, and I'm like, it'd probably be best just to not.
Pretty much. It's just, we're not going there.
Like, you're into what you're into, y'all. I'm good.
You just got the the back half of this stream has taken a dark turn. Yeah. It's what happens when you guys don't send me questions. I just have to start breaking your souls. It's the only entertainment I have.
Oh man, yeah. What the hell? Maybe they just like asking me questions more.
Yeah, maybe. You're just more. You don't tend to get as weird.
Right. Ugh.
Yeah, that's it. You're just straight man. I'm just the.
I'm just a fucking goof.
The goof, yeah.
Goof for fun.
Goof for fun. That's good. That's pretty good. All right, I'm writing that one down. Goof for fun.
That and the oh god. There we go. What's a good Disney what if? There. I'll ask the questions and answer them. What would be a good Disney what if to do? We could stick with the comfortableness of like Dragon Ball or something, in it. But like, let's start there. What would be the best Disney thing for Dragon Ball to fit into?
Hercules.
Hercules? I could see it.
Yeah, because it's just Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Hercules is just my favorite Superman movie.
I'll find my way. I can go the distance. Something. One day I'll be strong.
Bless my soul, Clark was on a roll. It works, man.
So we're about getting kind of the halfway point here on making this bat symbol as far as the hard part of this. The real kicker will be this doesn't do what I remember it doing, and so I need to redo all of this work. That'd be just nice.
What if Goku was in Mulan? I don't know if I think Chi-Chi would be better there.
Oh, Chi-Chi could be a cool fit. Yeah, I can see that.
Because you know what we're missing here? Chi-Chi is a princess.
Mm-hmm. So what if Chi-Chi was a Disney princess? She's just got like her own story where she's got to go find the boy who promised
She's in
to
a
marry him.
burning tower with her arc's dad, wacky character. Like, her arc really fits as a Disney movie. And then you'd get to the trope of, like, especially, like, Toriyama's kind of ahead of the curve in that way. But her Prince Charming is just a fucking moron that she has to save the day to get to work, and he's just this lovable goof. Yeah, That would actually be really cool. Reimagine, not put it in Disney, but reimagine what would the Dragon Ball arc look like if you remixed it a little bit to make it a Chi-Chi Disney princess movie, and you can just put it the Ox Princess in Burning Tower or something like that. Like that could be a cool, really cool little short.
That's a fun idea, actually. I kind of like that. I bet there's art, if you look. I bet there's art of, like, Chi-Chi as a Disney princess.
I know there's this really good art of Bulma and Vegeta as Beauty and the Beast, with Vegeta as the Uzaro.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. That's a cool idea. Because I just like the idea of, like, you know, she goes and trains for years because the boy that promised to marry her never came back. And so you got, like, Chi-Chi training for the World Martial Arts Tournament, and you got, like, you know, because she beats everybody else to get in, right? Like, there's clearly, if frickin' Tao Pai Pai is in the tournament that she joins, there's got to be at least some other competition, right? She's in the same tournament bracket as Goku, Tien, Tao Pai Pai, Piccolo Jr.
Like that's Chi-Chi, like legit. She's no joke.
Yeah, she kind of gets on a whole other level when you think about it. So, like, really, yeah, you could just, you know, give her own, like, OC villain or something to deal with, where she gains the strength and then, like...
You probably almost want to directly pull from, like, Journey to the West.
Oh, that'd be a cool idea. Oh, this is a fun one. We should write this down. This could maybe be a what if, dude.
I'm all for this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Lo. She's the resident Disney fan.
Yeah, we did the Bulma focus one, so Chi-Chi deserves one. Yeah, for sure.
Chi-Chi one could be dope. I'm going to talk to Lo about this, see if she'll help consult on this, because she is the Disney expert. Lo and Fusion. Might have to get them to just write it together.
Yeah. That could be good.
Oh, that'd be fun.
She has a power level of 133. She is no joke. Yeah, that's stronger than Master Roshi. Jesus.
Yeah. Wonder what Roshi's power level gets by the time you get to the Tournament of Power.
By that point, just don't bother, right? It's like the moment you get past Frieza, either you have to make your own, if you want to, and you can make it work, which I think DB Redux has done a fantastic job. But even they say we're only doing this for our project of like rewriting Dragon Ball. This isn't applying to the main series, because the main series just shifts away from power levels back to like this character is vaguely stronger than the other.
What's your power level? No one cares anymore. Quit asking. Mine's pretty big.
Lo found a Chi-Chi, Jasmine, Goku. I suppose she put Guka as Goku. Aladdin piece of fan art on Google. That's cute. Chi-Chi Jasmine works really well.
Yeah, I can see that. 'Cause yeah, she's a princess. Thank goodness we come from money. I come from money, Goku. Oh, classic lines. God, I'm gonna miss that series so much. I make myself sad every time I think about it now, you know?
It's gotta live on its legacy.
Breaks my heart. Oof. Yeah, it should be fine. I've got to decide when these, like, divots in the pixels actually matter and when it's just not that important.
Yeah, man. Just using a G-Pen tool. Yeah, emulates real-life ink for better and for worse.
You know, I've got a drawing tablet. I wonder if there'd be a way to work with that in the program here. Probably not. Because I think there's like a little button you have to click when you want to actually like click down. I don't think it just writes.
Well, I mean, depending on your pen, you can set it up so like different pen. There's like buttons on drawing. At least on my one, there's a button on the pen that you can press that acts as like a mouse click.
So if I just had it like eternally clicking and was just tracing this, maybe. I don't know. It could be an interesting thing to try to do. Yeah, I don't like that. Boop, boop, boop.
The second movie would have ruined her character because of her treatment of Gohan, just like Mulan. Yeah, come on, guys. No. Just gonna cut that shit out real now. Gohan made his own choices. He defied Chi-Chi when he wanted to, and when he didn't, he did his own thing. There's never been a point where she forced him to do something where he wasn't actually into it. Whenever he wasn't into it, he escaped or shouted out or did her own thing. And again, she's not trying to ruin anyone. She's just like Goku. She's just a dumbass. She's just a hick child who grew up with her dad as her only company. Because the first time she meets a boy, she just assumes they're gonna get married. Like it's just she's got like Fusion did a really good video on it. It's just where he's just like, yeah, Chi-Chi probably just read a dating magazine and saw, well, this is what a mum needs to do. The child needs to go to school. I guess I need to do that now. So she just kind of winged it, and she probably, her being so abrasive is a good thing, because without her, the whole family unit would have been broken and gone a long time ago.
Yeah, Goku's not exactly the bastion of stability. What the hell happened?
If these DBZ female-focused projects ever reach Vidal, I'm in there. Yeah, Vidal's best girl.
Oh, Vidal one would be cool. I mean, she actually kind of has her story built in, so you just do, like, the thing Vidal was up to before Gohan showed up as the Golden
You do
Warrior.
Vidal year 1.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I could get behind that, because that's one of the things, like, not to vent directly to the people that might have been doing it, but to vent directly to the people that might have been doing that. I got kind of like annoyed how many of the comments on the Xenomorphs Part 2 video was just, oh, well, why didn't this person show up? Or this person could have showed up to save her. I'm like, guys, I acknowledged, I spent probably too long talking about why characters weren't going to come. Why Bulma wasn't just going to try to solve it on her own initially, but then had to. I'm just like, it's Bulma's story. When was the last time Bulma just got a story to herself? Can it just be Bulma's story? Can we not, why didn't Piccolo and Yamcha and all these other characters show up? I'm like, because it's not their story, end of the day. Like, I gave you reasons, but I didn't want to go through the entire Dragon Ball cast.
Because then that's not a story again either. Then that's not, you're turning it from being a scene to you having to justify your own premise, which is just not how we write.
Yeah.
Again, I see a lot of what ifs, and it's perfectly valid to take this approach. I don't want to shit on anyone's storytelling, but it's just not how we do things. Is we're not really trying to look at this as if it's like, well, what would happen as a result of this action, as if we're like doing a formula, or like trying to be as absolutely quote unquote logical as possible. We're doing this just as when we have the idea of our Bulma fights the Xenomorph, everything else is a justification to make that happen. Mm-hmm. It's not, this is what would happen, also logically Bulma has to be the one to take that out. We build it around what story we want to tell, not the story is formed by the chain of events that would logically happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much that. It's one of those things where just like, I read some of those comments and I'm like, yeah, I get like, it might have been cool to do, a Namekian Xenomorph or whatever. And the potential for that still exists, certainly, to one degree or another. But it's just because it's this part doesn't mean that it can't happen again in the future. Like, I'll admit that when I wrote part 1 of Aliens in Dragon Ball, I knew I was going to do a part 2. Like, unless that video just completely failed to perform, there was going to be a part 2. This one, I'm not as certain that there's going to be a part 3, but I can tell you, there's still the potential for it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, she just killed the last xenomorph." I'm like, no, Whis and Jaco both know what they are. Therefore, this cannot possibly be the last xenomorph. um, so just there's the potential if I want to come back to it, and if I want to do other characters getting chest bursted or something, but it was Bulma's story for a reason, and I don't know. It was one of those things, right? Sometimes the comments I just don't think necessarily put a ton of thought into it, and I worry that they get a little insulting sometimes and kind of demeaning to certain characters.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that, to be honest, is less of the fault of the individual and more so the mindset and the culture and the environment of Dragon Ball discussion. I think a lot of memes are made, which is all in good fun, but I also think a lot of like really negative kind of iffy things get said a lot of the time are then just carried over. Like, people really ran with the hybrid concept and are becoming little just geneticists a lot of the time.
Yeah, the eugenics of Dragon Ball fans kind of creeps me out sometimes, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's that, the winning of women, and this character's a bitch, this guy should be able to do whatever he wants. That creeps in a lot. And especially it's annoying when Toriyama deliberately goes against that trope by having every single male in Dragon Ball be okay and really attracted to their wives telling them off. Like, every single one of those guys in there's not a single guy in Dragon Ball who's the dominant character in that relationship. And they're all okay with it. It's actually a really, especially for the time in the 80s, it's a really kind of forward-thinking attitude.
Especially for Japan.
Yeah. Like, it's like, again, Dragon Ball's got dicey stuff in there that hasn't aged the best, but like in terms of like portrayals of like relationships, in that sense at least, Goku's like a really positive masculine figure, whereas Vegeta's a toxically masculine one who then grows out of that, which some fans forget that he grew out of that. So yeah, that's all something I want to kind of address with this channel, to kind of be an alternative interpretation of the series that I think a lot of the community hasn't seen before, in terms of like looking at it in this analytical way. Not to say it doesn't exist, but it's just not as prevalent as like analyzing the fight scenes and stuff. And that, again, that's all perfectly good. We're not the be-all, end-all of that. The Dragon Ball's a very layered series. Everything's a layered series that's got a lot of different ways you can take of it. But if you did have to point to one aspect we're focusing on, we do like to focus on the characters, and as a result, a lot of the characters in Dragon Ball don't get the shine we think they deserve. So if we can help with that, specifically on the female front, I'm all for it. Especially because, like, again, you look at something like Fighters, and they had to make a female OC just because there weren't enough fighting women in the cast. So, like, that speaks volumes, I think.
Yeah, and that's something that I really am glad that they're making strides on. That's why I really like Caulifla and Kale as characters, just because it brings in more variety into the cast. It makes it not such a goddamn sausage fest. And then they're just... The fact that, like, I know it drives fans crazy, and, like, there's certain moves as a writer where I think you begin to pick up on them and you're like, oh yeah, that was a middle finger to a certain type of fan. The fact that, like, Caulifla and Kale just pick up Super Saiyan, I love it. I love it so much. Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, they just get it. Oh, that's my favorite. Like, I know a lot of fans are like, oh, it should be an emotional journey, and I'm like, no, the fact that it's just super easy for them, and that that it doesn't take the kind of aggression that it does for the male characters, I'm so here for that. They just need to be able to see it and know it's possible, and then they can do it because they're both or Caulifla at least can just see it and do it because she's a prodigy, in the same way that like Goku was when he was a kid, and Goku's kind of he has not lost that, but he's not as good at it as he used to be, and so he gets a little excited seeing it. I think that's just so cool. Would you think that's a fair thing,
Totally.
that Goku's like prodigy ability to just clone moves is kind of wearing off a little bit as he's gotten older?
I think it's just he's not being as exposed to new stuff. Like in the manga, particularly, they're keeping that going. Because again, he just copied the Hakai. So that's something I wish did carry over to the anime, because I think that's a really good moment of where he's fighting Zamasu, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't really see it that well, but what the hell?" And Vegeta's just kind of like, "What is he doing?" And he just jumps forward. He's like, "Hakai!" And I was like, "What?" It doesn't work. But like the fact that he tried it is the exact same energy as Kid Goku Kamehameha a car. Like it's the exact same thing. So I don't think it has worn off. I think it's just he hasn't been exposed to that many new techniques, which is honestly probably a fault of the writing, right? Is they're not everyone's just kind of still doing the same key attacks and everything, and the ones that are unique are like so unique that Goku couldn't copy. Like Hit is like Goku. There's no way Goku could do that. You would have wanted Goku to learn to do that. I think finding that middle ground again of techniques which Goku can emulate while still making his own would be something nice to see again. And I think Khalifa, again, she's his gender bent counterpart basically. So her getting that for Super Saiyan works really well. Like I imagine, again, if Goku wasn't the first Super Saiyan, I imagine he'd have picked it up real fucking quick.
Oh, most definitely. And I don't know, that's just cool. I just really like that, for Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta, it's like this huge emotional thing to try to get to Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 or whatever. And Khalifa just needed to see it. And I'm like, I miss that. I miss that shit. That is so cool. And it's cool because of the subversion of it, and I don't need everything to be like it's great when a transformation is used that way, to be like this big emotional thing, but I think there's this fallacy of a premise that a transformation, in order to be good, needs to do that. I think sometimes those transformations that just come out as like a surprise that have no setup, and it's just holy shit, like Goku using the Kaioken on top of Blue. I fucking love that shit. It's just, it comes out of nowhere, and it's so, like, impressive because of it. It doesn't need the story to set it up, and if it did, if the story had tried to set it up, it would have, like, actively made it a little bit worse. The fact that it just was a surprise is super fucking cool.
I'm all for that as well. Is DC Universe's heavy focus on character, internal struggle, partly why you did DBDC?
You want to go with this first?
Yeah, sure. I was kind of leading that. But yeah, definitely, 100%. Part of the conceit is being able to look at these characters and throw them in a different type of storytelling. And proving that they're not. People like to throw one-dimensional, a lot of like one-dimensional things at Dragon Ball. Like, it's just a series about the punching, and this is kind of my argument. I just like, yeah, that's because what Dragon Ball's main focus is. But at the same time, people remember it for the character work. If it was just action, there's many other series which have done action. There's many other series which are more animation heavy and animation focused and better executed than Dragon Ball. But they're not Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball supplements that with humor, comedy, and really good emotional beats. It's a perfect fusion. So this is my kind of argument. It's like, okay, I'm going to force you guys to realize this by literally taking out the Dragon Ball elements and kind of like from Dragon Ball itself and then chucking them on DC, where everyone knows that DC in comics, Marvel, etc. do these big internal runs on characters and really delve into the psychology. Let's do that to the Dragon Ball ones without really changing them, just to prove that there's more to these characters than a lot of people give them credit for.
And I love doing stuff like that. All right, so I made my curve, and now it's not doing what I need it to do.
Crumb here with a $5 donation. Thank you, Crumb. You two stop simping for Caulifla. Love your boy, Crumb.
Simping for Caulifla? I've got to ask. I'm an old millennial. I don't know this term. I've seen it come up, and I've yet to pop on the old Urban Dictionary to figure it out. What is?
So it's Oh, by the way, you should save Ian.
Oh yeah, good point.
Thank you, Lar. For simping, it is the act of when it's just a new word for like white knight.
Okay.
Of just like a guy who will do anything for a girl, and at every personal cost possible to the ultimate extent.
Nice. Yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Crumb, you need to sometimes you do need to hold off a little bit on the meanness factor.
Right? Okay, there we go. I think that did it. Ta-da, it's a 3D object now.
Huzzah. Did you do the save, by the way?
Yeah, I did hit save. I'm gonna hit save again. Because the thing I'm about to do with all these weird-ass faces might just make this crash. So here's hoping. Oh no, it didn't crash. Good. Alright, so now it's a very thin 3D object with, it looks like at least one error that I need to fix. But by and large, it's fine. Oh my god, only one error. What are the chances? I'm pretty sure if there's like someone watching... Oh no, a couple errors. Okay. If someone that actually knows what they're doing with 3D is watching this, they're probably like screaming at what I just did because it does kind of look hideous with the way these vertexes all work. So let's see here. Merge. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. This vertex and this vertex. And let's just bring it down. Fuck it, just bring it down. It doesn't have to merge. It's not gonna get animated. It's just a flat object. Alright, so let's see here.
From writes, hey geek, I need some writing advice for my series, Gone Buddy. I've been struggling on the idea of transformations. My series plays on shonen tropes. I'm trying to decide whether or not it'd work. Well, at the same, you got to think about what works best for your story, right? You can take inspiration. You shouldn't just think, wow, what worked for this story worked for mine. In terms of transformation, the key to that is in the word, right? Transformations, when done the best, are a physical manifestation of a change in that character, or a growth on that character, or a way to visualize what that person is going through in a dramatic manner, right? So if you have a character that receives a lesson and has a change, and it shouldn't just be a regular change, at least at first. If you're gonna do like, this is the first, like Super Saiyan is different because everyone's seeing Super Saiyan, so you can kind of subvert that later on. If you're doing your first transformations for a series, you probably should give it some more weight. You could subvert that too. But that's more if you're going for like humor. If you want to go that route, it is just take your character to a place where they have to grow, where they have to learn these lessons, where they have to become people, or they remain steadfast, or they have a revelation. Anything that invites a great change, the transformation therefore is the physical manifestation of that. So keep that in mind when you're writing. That honestly should always be your intent when writing, and I think focus on that first. The Super Saiyan transformation isn't nearly as iconic or good as it is if it ended with Goku just looking how he normally does with a goofy expression. It's so iconic because Goku looks up and he gives him that entirely ingrained in your mind stare. And that's what Toriyama said, is like, that's what I've been working up this whole time, is just giving Goku that look. And then I almost didn't know what to do after that. I was like, oh, they have to fight now? Like, that's an interview question he has, and I find it so cute. Is he just, you want to get up to for a dramatic payoff of a character's journey. Goku's journey in that was learning and accepting his Saiyan heritage, and after everything Frieza's been doing and him enjoying the fight, when Krillin dies is where everything finally hit him. It's where everything finally got him. He'd been in an impossible situation. He can't beat this guy. Everything's too much, and so he just stopped caring. And he just became pure. I need to fight. That's basically where that's gonna go. So yeah, that's my advice on transformations. And thank you again for the other donation. Again, it's fine. I get it's a sense of humor. Is why we were laughing. It's just like a kind of like a it's catches your off guard sometimes. It's all good. Hey Alfie, Lone Wolf says, when can we accept this series to start? I am extremely excited for it. Yeah. Again, at the start of the stream, I said no concrete dates because I don't want to disappoint anyone. But next couple of months, I think, is a good gauge.
Yep. All right, now the question is, do I need this? All right, hold on. Let's look at the... All right, so let's look at it, actually. Hopefully we don't show any spoilery things as I go through here to find my pictures folder. Oh, there we go. Just show this off. I did a review of this book because it's the strangest shit in the world. just because.
Just because.
Yeah, and then there's that. That was a thing I found online too. So, what if the Xenomorph was a Disney princess, huh, Alfie? What about that?
What if?
Okay.
And part of me, some days I'm just like wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I'm gonna take what if of all my videos. It's giving people different impressions. But then I'm like, no, because it fits and it's fun. Stop being a grump, Alfie.
Yeah. Be not so grump. Okay. So, it's oriented with the big... Alright, it's oriented with the big gap between the head and the wing on the left side. Alright? I might just take this. So, what I gotta think about is when it projects, will it project in that manner? And so I think I actually need to rotate it this way to make that work.
That makes sense. In concept.
Nope, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Alright, so what's 0? Is that right? I think that's going to work out. So that way when it projects in this orientation. I hope that's right. Okay. We shall see. Alrighty. So placement is just not something I know how to do very well. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Again, I get kind of self-conscious doing streams like this because I'm sure there's just that chance that someone that actually knows what they're doing is going to be like, God, this is awful. You're doing everything wrong. Why are you doing it this way? There's so many easier ways to do it. Alright, so I want to make the symbol as big as I can on the glass. And probably wouldn't hurt to give it just a little more scale. Not that much. And it seems that the rotation... Which one is this? That's the 244. Alright. What's a round way? Do I want to do just like 250? No. I think right there is what I want. Basically, hold on, shading, X-ray. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Alright, we're getting there. We're ready to start doing textures. And
Ho ho ho!
we'll probably do textures, and I'll work on just getting the light installed, the physical light put in here, and that'll probably be where we end it, because I don't want to necessarily do the animation and the cityscape background and stuff. So I think we're gonna get texture work done here. So let's see here. Expand my thing here. Expand all my nuts and bolts. Basically, everything's going to be the same material except for you. How do I turn you off? It's one of these things. It's similar to, let's call this glass. I guess I can just make everything the same texture and then just make that a different texture. Alright, assign new material. Blinn, because blinn looks good for metal. And then you will be a different blinn for glass. Blinn is a nice reflective material. So I'm just going to call this one glass. And then this will be blinn 1. And that'll be metal. Okay, let's hit save, because we're at a good saving point.
Save!
Yeah. Oh, and see, you can already see as I switch the material how the light hits it a bit differently now. Yeah, so this is looking cool. Alright, so for metal, we want to go for a really dark metal, and then I need like need to go do some searching here. Infinite stream. What do I search? Just metal texture. So I want to find kind of like a scratched, really like worn looking metal. Like that's pretty good. Let's see. Ooh, that's better. But it's got the stupid photo watermark. Damn it. That's got some good scratchiness to it. Wait, was I already in the bat signal? No. Projects. Oh, I hope everyone's been enjoying the stream. As far as just the 3D work goes.
Seems like, again, it's just me watching it, speaking for myself. I've been actually quite enjoying it. It's really fascinating seeing you do this.
Yeah, you got to see me do this last night too with the I don't know, can I name it? Because it's just vague enough. They're not going to know what it's related to.
Uh-huh.
Fuck it, I'll just show you, because I finished it. The render finished last night. I'll just import it and show it off, because it's kind of cool. Did another bit of 3D work last night with animation, everything's included. Speaking of which, I'm still heartbroken that no one commented on the on the animation for the xenomorph getting crushed and the door opening and stuff. I was like, oh, I was really hoping people would be digging that, and no one said anything in the comments. I kind of cried a little bit. I made this last night with Alfie kind of looking over my shoulder. I'll expand it out so you can see it a bit better. The Daily Planet. I wonder what this could be for. Woo!
No.
Yeah, rotation and everything. And then the other part of that is just doop doop doop. There you go. Or I guess the other way works better. Doop doop. Ta-da. And yeah, it's loopable. Isn't that neat? Okay. Anyway, back to the bat signal.
Back to the bats.
Back to the bat signal. Alright, let's go for like... you know what? It was set at 1. Let's set it at 1 and see how it looks to begin with, alright? And then let me get the glass in here and just boost the transparency on you up and just call you white, and yeah, let's see what happens. Hit save before I render, just in case everything goes sideways on me. Try that again. Alright, I'm not really seeing any of the bump texture that I'm adding. Like, there's a little bit of noise on it, but I think that might just be the render quality and stuff. So let's increase this bump depth a little bit more. Wait, what was the file? Oh, I never finished applying the file. That might be why. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, okay, yeah, that bump depth is going to be terrible, but we'll look at it just to see, just for the laugh. That looks ridiculous. Particularly there where the UVs haven't been applied right. Alright, hold on, let's do this first. Okay. Do I want to do it this way? I got it broken up. I might as well do it in a nice, even way. Alright, hold on. We'll go through and do this in nice little chunks. Cylinder, UV, cylindrical, close you off. Okay. And then nuts and bolts I'm not as concerned about.
Shortbeard gave us a $5 donation, and he asks, what if Yamcha was in Mad Max?
I don't know what that would be. I to be honest, I've never watched Mad Max. I guess that works because he's got his whole desert bandit thing going for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what that turns into.
Going out on like a really cool bike. I mean, depends how you want to play it, right? You can make him Yamcha, and if you throw Yamcha in that universe, he just becomes the fucking Superman, all-powerful god that he's always dreamed of being. But like, if you want to go with like something that's got a bit more weight to it, you go with the Huber thing, right? You still make him fuck up.
Oh man, that's a funny idea. I give my friends the gift of Yamcha. That's a non-refundable gift, isn't it?
The gift of Yamcha. It's pretty good.
Oh. Alright, let's hope this works. Cylindrical mapping. It never works the way you want it to, but I think that should actually be okay. UVs are weird, man. Oh, that's so trippy looking. Okay, so that's good. The glass shouldn't need any. That shouldn't need any. I think the symbol is the one thing I want to be a different texture from the rest of the metal, because that'll help it. And that's just going to be like straight black. That's not going to have any texture to it. So it's going to look a little different. All right. So then my object mode, my bump needs to go way down because this bump is just outrageous. Let's do less than 1, or less than 0.1, because it doesn't want to be. Don't want it to make it look like it's rusted. It's just, oh yeah, see, now that's got that nice like brushed metal quality to it. Oh, I like that. That looks good. I like it. Good job, me. I'm great.
Well done.
Yay! Alrighty.
All for the positive.
Yeah, so we're about there. Now it's time for the fun bit. So I need to create something just to get a sense of things. Alright. Now if it misses, it can't possibly miss now. That's all that matters. Okay. Alright.
I guess they never miss, huh?
Yeah, sure. Whatever that means. Okay, cool. Poop. And hit save.
She's a Buick, Vegeta.
Hit save so we know everything's going well. What's going on here? This is odd. Is this because of my mapping? Didn't mean to do that. Oh, that didn't work. Or is that a shadow? Pretty sure that's because of my mapping. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna redo the map on just this part up here. Do a nice planar map on them so it doesn't look weird like that. Ah, if the thing will let me select.
Yeah, big weird.
Yeah. Oh, there's just all the little details, you know? Ugh. No questions pouring in. Maybe I'm just like a very relaxing presence, you know? Maybe I'm not like good for Q&A things, and it's just like, man, I just wanna sit there and listen to him as he complains about this program I know nothing about.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's into that.
I don't know, can you bitch about Alan Moore some more or something then? Goddamn.
Ah, man. What's there to say? I don't want to be just mean. I've gone through that. I don't want to hurt. Everything I've said has been said. So yeah, I don't know. You know what's weird?
The one.
Yo. Never mind, I just want to sing with you now on this stuff. You know what's weird? Just opened up Twitter for a hot second. Saw a thread about Eric Larson talking about Golden Age Superman, how he was a real social justice warrior, and people who think politics aren't ever in superheroes are completely wrong. I'm all for that. I did what you should never do and opened up the replies. And it's, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this because what I think is the real answer to why we're not getting a lot of questions is just because the Echoes of the Night isn't as of a draw as like Dragon Ball DC in the title or something. But we're gonna be doing a lot of social justice warrior quotation marks in our stories, and that's something we're very excited for. We're very excited to use our platform to promote stuff like that, to break trends and be a little bit more reflective of the real world with our stories. I'm curious what their reaction to that is going to be. But yeah, it's just one of those things where even if you're like, oh, this isn't for me, I just ask you to just don't hate so angrily. It's not good for yourself. Even if you don't give a shit about us, we're just some good dudes on the internet. But it's just not healthy to walk around with that in your mind, being so angry about things that really don't affect you. There's better things in the world to be angry about. There's real problems you should use that energy for to help people. And I feel like there's a lot of misplaced anger. And that's not to say you shan't be angry. Anger is a very vital tool. And anger's been very important in getting things better for people. If you're angry about something, you're passionate about something, and that can be a force for good. It's just like don't punch down. Don't go for people who don't need that. It's just we're not building that type of community here.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I get worried sometimes with some of the stuff I see, some of the takes and whatnot.
Batman says trans rights. How? Of course he fucking does. Everyone. Goku says trans rights.
Goku said gay rights with the Entity Saga movie thumbnail.
Hell yeah.
Fucking love that thumbnail so much. I've talked to you about it, but I'm gonna tell you again. You did a really good job on that fucking thumbnail, man. I'm so proud of you.
Shut up. Don't touch me.
What? What did I do now? I'm sad.
Speaking of proud, though, holy crap, it's a fucking bat signal.
I know, it's coming together really well, isn't it? So Maya actually does have a spotlight. It's like Maya's got, lights, and they each kind of they each have like elements that mirror or try to puppet or not puppet, try to imitate real world lights. So like if I go up here to create and lights, I got like ambient light, which is probably the least realistic, but then like a directional light would be like a flashlight, point light would be like a light bulb hanging in a room, spotlight is a spotlight, area light would be like a big LED panel, so stuff like that. So I do actually have a spotlight that I can use and project with. So we're going to try to get the light working to just project the symbol itself. The hard part there is I'm just going to make sure it's nice and centered first. And my mouse and keyboard sucks, so I keep unselecting it and selecting other shit. Okay, and then I just need to just boost the thing like crazy. All right. I'm not sure what the penumbra. What's a penumbra?
Nani?
Like, I know I've heard that word, but I can't remember what it refers to.
Penumbra.
Is that like the thing that is emerging out of the light or something? Just leave that at 0. So no decay, intensity, shadows, shadow color black. Use ray trace.
What would
shadows.
you do with the character of the Prowler from Marvel Comics? Not really. I don't think he's that interesting to me personally. I really liked him in Spider-Verse, but I don't think I could top that. And like, I think that's the best usage of him as like a dark Uncle Ben figure. And as a result of that, there's only one story you need to tell and never use that character again. So yeah, that's. Sorry if you're a fan of that character, but like, I'm just gonna default to the Spider-Verse thing. It's just like if we ever do Miles, Spider-Verse is gonna be his origin, and just go from there.
What's happening here?
Penumbra, the partially shaded outer region of the shadow cast by an opaque object.
Let's bring the intensity down and see what happens. I think I'm just like lighting up weird sections here. And I'm not getting... No decay, emit diffuse, emit specular, spotlight, yes. Intensity, go for like a yellow color just while I'm here. Intensity illuminates by default, emit diffuse, cone angle, penumbra angle. Put a negative penumbra in there? I don't know. Not sure what to do. Yeah, I'm just blasting the hell out of this thing. Okay, let's move the intensity down, question mark? It's just about finding out exactly what I gotta do here to make this work. Okay, I think the penumbra, I think the cone angle might be too big, right? Is that what's happening here? Okay, there's the symbol, there's this light happening, but now it's not catching the symbol at all. So that's gonna be the hard part to figure out. I was hoping it would just magically work and that everything would be okay. It didn't happen that way. So let's see here. Render stats, cast shadows. Let's see if it receives shadows. Maybe that'll help. Double-sided. Hey, there's that double-sided thing I was looking for earlier.
Now that's a fucking arc. Bye, Lo.
Lo's out of here.
Yeah.
She got tired of my shit.
Had a few people ditching you.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. This is probably like the thing where it just gets like boring or something. I don't know.
The tedium.
Yeah, right? It's not wanting to pick up the signal. Or the symbol. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do?
What I do, though?
I know, right? What do it do, though? These are the important questions that no one asks. That didn't do anything. Let's just, for the moment, hide that. Let's pretend that there's glass there. No, it still doesn't catch it. Because the light very clearly has to pass through this before it can do anything, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
Is it too close to it?
I don't think so. Let's see what happens if I render inside here. What does it look like? Okay, so it's like it's not even... It's like the light isn't starting inside the thing. It's waiting until it's past the signal before the light source is starting, from the looks of things. I think. Looks kind of cool to see it coming together. There's also a way to get, like, the trail of it. I've got to figure that part out, too. I think it's called, like, light fog or something like that. So, there's a setting here in the light that I'm not thinking of. It's not the cone angle, it's not the drop-off, it's not the penumbra angle from what I can tell. Maybe I need to just put it back further. Ah, there's the light fog, which is cool. So yeah, I'll have to turn that on eventually. I guess we can just turn it on now. Fog spread? I don't know how to do it. I mean, maybe I just physically place it further back? Light radius 1. Make the light radius smaller? Will that have something to do with it? Or is it just the physical placement of it in the 3D space, I wonder? Let's take a look. If I just move it really, really far back here, and to the point where it's barely even inside the signal, will that have an effect? Nope, not quite. I was really hoping it was just going to magically work, because I think last time it just magically worked, and I don't remember what I did.
This is where everything goes to pieces.
Right, let's just turn off use ray trace shadows real quick. Nope, that didn't do it. Dang it. Use depth map shadows. Well, that just doesn't do anything then. What the shit? I see a light now, but very clearly there is no... That was kind of a cool shot. Just going up through the bat signal like that. No, nothing. Well, I think ray trace shadows are my better option here. It's just a matter of getting it to apply, and it's just a matter of figuring out how it'll catch that. Spotlight, intensity, linear decay, I don't know. Does that do anything for me? Okay, so just... Okay.
I'm a big fan of Morrison's Klaus, same here. What story or folklore would you like to give that kind of treatment to? You know what? I actually think it's quite funny how this has turned out. It's like, I don't know, man. I think we're fucking meant to be writing partners because like I think our answers are like perfect because I can just guess yours. It's got to be Zorro and Robin Hood respectively, right?
I'd fucking love to write a Zorro story, man. That'd be the shit. More Zorro in my life, please.
Yeah. So we got Sid's part two, Zorro.
Mm-hmm.
Geek for Fun, Robin Hood. That would be, and we could do those.
I know they're like public. We could monetize those and not worry about, YouTube changing its mind on how that stuff works.
I think if anyone was to ever expect, oh, you guys you're really good writers and stuff, you should self-publish or something. If we ever got to the point with the Patreon or something where that would be possible, I think that's probably what we'd do. Is we just write a Zorro and a Robin Hood book, and we'll send both those out respectively into the ether. I think that is because we're never gonna. You can't start with Superman and stuff like that. But I feel like those two characters are things we'd be able to give the exact same passion we have for DBDC, etc., and even more freedom. So like. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a thing, and that's like one of those dream projects that actually is surprisingly possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Receive shadows. Turn that on. Change anything. Why is it working? There's a light, and there's a thing, and I don't understand. Alfie, explain it to me. Explain Maya. Why Maya be like this, yo?
Why it be like that? Though.
I know. Why it be doing that? I don't
know.
It's like decay thing. There's an object in front of the light. That's really all it should come down to. There's an object in front of the light, so the object should be casting shadows. I could understand it if like the shadow was really tiny, or if the shadow was like overly big or something. I'd know what to do about that. But it's like it's not though. It's just awkward. There's all the room of the circle, so it's not like light shouldn't be coming in and out of it. What am I missing?
Check
here?
that the light illuminates by default attribute is on. Make sure cast shadows or receive shadows are turned on for the object.
Oh, are you Googling this? Or I was like, wait, is someone in the stream like actually...
No, I'm Googling it.
Yeah. Spotlight... Limit information, that shouldn't be it. This should be render stats. Transform, pivots, display, node. Okay, maybe not. Render stats. Ray trace shadow attributes. Depth maps. Decay regions? No. Shadows, shadow color. Let's make the shadow color like something ridiculous so I can see what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's not catching any shadows. Let's just see something. Line primitives, sphere. So I'm gonna create a sphere. I'm gonna put it like in the direct path of the light. So that should, at least conceivably, be casting a shadow on this wall that I've made. And it's not. It's receiving the light, but it's not casting a shadow. So why isn't it so it's like the light isn't turned on to cast shadows. Which it is. It's very clearly illuminates by default. Turn that off just to see. Emit, diffuse, emit, specular. Just turn all those off. Spotlight, no decay. Light effects, light fog, light glow. Barn doors, sure. Let's see what that does. Decay regions, shadows, ray trace shadows, shadow rays. Maybe bring that down and just do one shadow ray? I don't know. Something happened. Turn illuminates by default back on. I think that one's important. Okay, I've changed some kind of setting, and I don't know what it was. Okay, something in there. Emit specular. Okay. emit, diffuse. So diffuse is important to get anything. Emit specular doesn't seem as important, so let's turn off those two. Okay, so I definitely need illuminate by default and emit diffuse. Those two are requirements. Okay, cool. Cone angle shouldn't matter. The penumbra angle, put it at a 0, see what happens. It just makes it really, really tiny. Put it at a 10, see what happens. Just makes it really, really big, right? And I'm still not getting any shadow on it, period, for some reason. Drop off shouldn't matter. Light fog. Barn doors, I don't know what that is. Depth match, shadow attributes. Use them both, fuck it, I don't care. Crazy high resolution. Crazy high bias. Fog, shadow intensity, 10. I don't know, we'll just turn a million things on and hope that one of them causes literally anything to happen.
Is there like on the bat itself as an object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that got a setting that turns on shadow?
Yeah, and I checked it, and it does say cast shadows. Cast shadows, receive shadows. Motion blur, primary visibility, smooth shading, visible in reflections, visible in refractions, double-sided. I don't get it.
The next one is enable depth maps and turns in the render settings window.
Okay, render settings, render options, enable default light, scene assembly, image size, renderable camera, frame range, none of that does anything for me. Maybe my ray tracing. Ah! Okay, hold on. I need to turn off. Oh, whoops. What am I doing here? I need to turn off something on this light, because now it's crazy. Alright. Okay, now it's just one big shadow for some reason. I fear I've ruined everything. Damn it. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get rid of my sphere. Where'd that go? Where's that sphere at? What happens now? Because I forgot I made a sphere. I really should have made literally any other shape. Okay. Now let's just start over with the light. Because I've changed so many settings and I don't know what's what anymore. Alright, so here we go. Light. Does it produce a big light? Okay, it does. Cool. Now, just to make sure, create objects, cube, dupe, dupe. So that cube should be basically right in the path of that light. It is. So it should be able to rotate around here. And, okay, the cube causes a shadow. So we know for a fact that this light, the things are set up in the program now so that this light will cause a shadow for an object not too terribly far in front of it. So now it's just about putting this light in this goddamn thing and getting it to work right. And just hoping beyond hope that it works correctly. Because goddamn, has it not been working correctly? That's the fun of 3D, is you just spend like 20 minutes going down a rabbit hole and you're like, alright, let's just start over. Oh. Okay. See what happens. Can't see shit, because it's probably shoved way too far up the machine. Okay, so let's... Whoa. I wish there was a way to just make an object a light source. Because I think that's a thing, like, Unity. I don't think that's a thing in Maya. Because that would be very convenient for me, not gonna lie. Haha!
Yes! Huzzah!
Yay! It's happening! So then it's just about perfecting it and making sure I can put the glass back in there. But there it is! Oh my god, it looks so good. I'm so excited. Yay! So now I can change all my spotlight settings. And, alright, so I want like a yellowish hue to it because that's sexy. I want it to be basically as big a thing as I can get it to be. I think that's right. Cone angle, big, right about there. Okay, no decay, yeah. Shadows, ray trace shadows. Yeah, I think it was just I didn't have a render setting on for ray trace shadows, and so it wasn't working right. I think that's what it all came down to, which is weird because I have fucking production quality rendering on right now. It should work just fine. God damn it. Uh-oh. I've changed something.
Random question, Alfie. Have you been reading the IDW Sonic comic? I checked out the first arc on the recommendation of that Matt kid, and I liked it because it was Metal Sonic. But past that, it didn't wow me enough to keep pulling it. But it doesn't need to, right? I think it serves what it does. Like it's a kids comic. It's what it should be doing. It should be a very accessible. Like I thought the Sonic Mega Drive comic was really good at that. It was an accessible entry point for kids who like the game to read a comic book. That rarely do you get comics these days that are super accessible for kids. So I thought it was fun. But I feel like Sonic is one of those characters where, despite comic books being so big, I don't really think it's as medium. I don't think unless you're gonna get like a fucking crazy new writer to do like a Flash style crazy take on it. I think he's someone who's best suited. I mean, if you turned his Flash pitch into a Sonic pitch, it could probably work even better.
Oh, Alfie, look at it. Oh man, that's so cool looking. I really like this.
It's pretty.
Yeah. I need to... Maybe the cone angle being all big and stuff actually isn't beneficial because it makes it look like it's a little less... I don't know, maybe I do need it to be big. Alright, let's make this not that big. About that big? Ooh. Ooh, look at it come together. Oh man, I fucking love, like, as painful as it is to get there sometimes, you know, as hard as it is to make it happen, when it starts to, it's a good feel, man. It's a really good feel. Alright, so I need to increase the intensity a little bit, I think. Oh, I got rain outside. Barn doors, does that help? Because the other thing I want to try to figure out tonight, if I can, is the fucking arms, you know what I'm talking about, like that cone shape of the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the barn doors actually did help a little bit, but I don't know what that precisely does. I don't know what it does, but it doesn't hurt, so fuck it, I'm gonna keep it. And I think that's the light fog. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, so color, let's be that. Alright. And then, what do I do with this? How do I make it work? Light fog. Fog spread. Fog intensity. Because I think that's the effect I want. Yeah, there we go. We're getting somewhere. So now it's just how do. Is that related to the spotlight controls? Cone shape? Density. I don't know. How do I what do?
What it do, duh?
Right? Light fog, default light set, cone shape, light shape. Alright, so cone angle. Okay, so that's what I need to change. Alright. Okay, that's good. Penumbra angle. I don't know what that does. Let's get a render of it and see if this is still working right. Because, like, I like that it's got the bat symbol as, like, kind of, you know, ethereal, I guess I'd call it. But I don't know. It's hard to describe. I like that it's got, like, this kind of weird look to it. I lost something with my cone shape, light fog, density 1, density 10, and just make sure it's sticking with that color, because it's like disappearing as I made it smaller. No, that didn't work. Change the density back to 1 then. Shape. It's specular. Drop off. What the fuck's drop off? I don't think I want that though. Fog spread. Or maybe fog spread should be 0. So that way it just stays in this cone shape. Nope, that didn't help. Fog spread should be 5. Fog intensity should be 10. Fog spread should be 10. Does that do anything for me? I mean, I've got another option here if this doesn't work out, but I like what I've got going for it so far. I think I'm going to turn off barn doors. I don't think that actually works for me. I'm really happy with this part though, because like what I'm gonna do is I'll fade in. So like we'll get the animation and everything, and it'll show up in the sky, and then I'll fade in the bat symbol, like the official logo for Echoes of the Night. It's gonna look so cool, right over where the symbol's projecting. That's my plan for it at least. If I kick my intensity up, what happens? Yeah, it just makes it a little more white. It doesn't quite give it the cutting edge that I wanted it to have.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I'll just put my intensity back down to like 1.5. Because when I first applied it and had that huge cone angle, it really, really worked for it. But now it's not really, really working for it. Does putting that glass on there affect anything? Because I might have to change a bunch of its render stats too. Or maybe it'll help everything, who knows? Not really. Doesn't change anything, that's good. What do I have to do about my light fog, though? cone cap. Density. Black hole. Solid matte. Sure, what happens? Because it's like right there. I'm missing something here. There's something going on. I just wonder, what if I do this? Till it hits the wall. Because that'll mean I'll have to adjust it, obviously. But, okay. What happens? I have no idea what's about to happen. This might look super freaking weird. Uh-oh. It's doing weird shit right now. The pain of it all. Do we even have anyone left in the stream?
We got 10 people.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I hope they're enjoying themselves. Probably just talking amongst themselves at this point, right?
A little bit, but a
Yeah.
lot of them talk about the Sonic comic.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It always comes back to Sonic for some reason.
It always comes back to Sonic. Break that connection because that didn't do anything. Motion blur, render options, environment fog, apply fog in post, ignore film gate, shadows, motion blur, field options. Oh man, I just boosted one hell of a setting in ray tracing. This is gonna be fun. Oh my.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah, I just changed one ray. It's gonna add a lot. Is it gonna be worth it? Is it gonna make it look any better? Probably not. It does. I just turned on 40 ray trace shadows as opposed to the one that I was doing before, in the hopes that it'll like improve the fineness of the detail on the symbol when it's projected. I don't know if it's gonna work or not though. What's this saying over here underneath Alfie? Skipped frames detected 15% over the last 2 minutes a few seconds ago. I think we're fine.
Booyah.
Yeah, right. Wow, it's making it take longer to render. That's nice. Gotta appreciate that whenever we get the chance. And the quality of the thing isn't looking significantly better, so it's almost a pointless amount of render time. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, it's really not worth it. Okay. Let's turn that off. Because it's not making it any better, so we'll just bring that down to like 5 as opposed to It's 40. Light radius. Fur shading. I'm missing something. There's some kind of little detail. Light fog, fog spread, light glow. I really, really hesitate turning that on. I've had bad experiences with light glow. It never works the way you want it to. Oh. What do you got planned for tomorrow?
For moi,
Yeah.
writing. Lots of writing. I finished up the art piece I had to do, so it freed my schedule a bit.
Oh yeah, I saw that Jonathan piece. That was so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Haha.
Uh,
Super cool.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I meant to do that.
It's gonna be writing. Going over things for these future projects and trying to end your life at Sonic Generations.
God, I was so mad. I can't believe you almost matched my time that quickly. That's gonna piss me off so much, dude. Ugh.
I did warn you, man.
You did,
Talking
but
all
like,
that good shit.
I said I had a respectable time, and I was excited to see you go for it. But here you are, just fucking like coming down hard on me.
I mean, I still haven't got it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm
just
glad
like,
you
once
didn't
you
just
get
get
to
it
the-
right away, but like you're knocking on the door way earlier than I want you to be able to. Oh, that makes sense. Tight, cool. All right, so I just want the light radius to be not that tight, just a little bit. So I'm glad I figured that setting out at least. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do about this goddamn thing. I mean, I guess you don't technically need it, but it is cool to have the trail of the spotlight. And like I said, I've got another workaround to get there if I have to. Let's just fucking do that. Screw it. I'm tired of this already. I hate all these fucking settings. Like there's it seems like you should just be able to do the thing, and then it just doesn't do the thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It breaks my heart. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is my glass piece, right? I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna immediately go into its render stats and stuff once I find where that is. Okay, doesn't cast shadows, doesn't receive shadows, not visible in reflections or refractions. I guess that part shouldn't matter. Alright. So then what I'm going to do is just make this ridiculously huge. Right? Okay, that didn't do what I wanted it to. Modify center pivot. Okay. There we go. So now there's just this big frickin' pillar coming out of the bat signal. And okay. Mesh tools, multi-cut. Let's look at it from the top actually, so I get a nice simple. Basically right there is where I want it. Boom. Okay. Okay. So that one's going to expand just exponentially as I please. Cool. Cool. Alright. Object mode. And then Assign new material. A blend again. And this will be light thingy. Alright. It's going to have the same color as that. Eccentricity, specular color is going to be that same color. Ambient color is going to be that same color. And then special effects, hide source glow, and glow about that much. Alright, let's see if that basically did what I wanted it to. That cube can go away. Maybe that's what I did last time. Maybe I fucked with the same thing for God knows how long, and then got it working, and then just gave up, and or didn't get it working, and then just gave up and did this. Maybe that's what happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there's like the symbol to it. Yeah, that's looking about right. Because then if I go over to this side, yeah, there we go. So I just gotta adjust like where it's hitting. Once I know where it's hitting, I can adjust the vertices on this so it's looking right. But yeah, there we go. That does it. That's where we're gonna leave things. I'm sorry for how long it took to get that last bit down.
You kind of predicted it, and I'm glad we managed to make the progress.
Cool. Okay. Yay! It all came
Beforehand,
together.
we've got one question for you.
Sure.
What if the Predator was in Rurouni Kenshin?
Ooh, that's not half bad. I like that one. I mean, it definitely it would fit really well with Kenshin's whole thing of like, I'm done with that life, and then, hey, I hear you're really good at killing people, and I want you to fight me. It's like, but I don't want to fight you. Well, I'm gonna kill people until you fight me. Or I'm gonna put you in this ridiculous situation until you fight me. That's just pretty much what everyone's thing with Kenshin was. So yeah, no, that'd work. That would definitely do the trick. The Predator would fit that mold really well. Of just put Kenshin in a situation where he has to fight, even though he doesn't want to. That's just what Kenshin be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could see that. And I like it too because, again, within the Predator fan base, not that I'm a huge member or anything, so I don't have a ton of room to talk, but I do like me some Predator. Within the Predator fan base, there is a lot of desire to get a Predator movie set in a historic period, because we've been teased with it for so long now. Ever since Predator 2, that it is just like one of those things that the fan base has really been kind of like clamoring for in a way. So yeah, that'd be a cool one to see. I'd love to see it happen. I don't know if it will, but I'd love to see it.
I think that's a very nice positive note to end on.
Yeah, totally. Let's get one more render of this to close out on. And that will do it for this episode, or this live stream.
This episode, I'm the philosopher.
right. Bam. Yeah. So I gotta when I do the final thing, I'll play with the cone to make it fit right. But it's whoa. It's almost there, honestly. I just can't help it. I just can't help want to try to just finalize it, because once I get this to match up with where the spotlight itself is hitting, it's just ready to go. It's ready to just build the scenery around it and make the animation. I might have to do that as like a second stream or something.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Look, I'm almost there. Just got to inch it down a little bit, and then the cone will hit right where the symbol hits, and yeah, that's just a fucking bam, done, did it. Ooh, suck it. You said it couldn't be done, Alfie.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. Gotta give it to you. You're a loose cannon, but yeah, you make a mighty fine bat signal.
I know, right? Oh, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This was super fun to make, folks. Let's see. Can I get a nice render right on the right so that you can see like the signal every time with this. So you can see the signal and the projection at the same time. Can I do that? Because I know about where it's going to be hitting, so I can get the signal nice up and close here. I don't think the bass matters as much as like the drum and shit. There we go. And here's our closing render.
Huzzah!
It's a blue screen, yay! And now watch, this is where it crashes after all the good,
Yeah, insane.